It's a Nintoaster. And yes, it works. Are you ready for some action? Some Action 52? I suppose so, because I get requests for this game all the time, like this one right here. Action 52. Fuck this game, please do a review of it. You asshole. Thanks. Wow, I guess I gotta do it now. Let's start with the cartridge. It's the freak misfit of the NES library. Games came in gray, black, blue, silver, gold, but clear? You can tell just by looking at it, this is a game that's so bad, it has nothing to hide. Another thing, if you play it for more than an hour, not that you'd want to, it gets really hot and smells like burning plastic. It's not because of the toaster, the same thing happens if you play it in the top loader. Not only is this game crap, but it's crap that comes with a price. $199. That's a lot of money, but there's 52 games. So let me calculate this. $199 divided by 52 equals, well, you gotta pay tax too, so let's just say $4 a game. Wow, what a deal! 52 action-packed games bundled into one cartridge, all for an efficient price. It was every kid's dream. More games! More games! Yeah! Lights, camera, Action 52. Oh!
Make your selection now.
Well, let's get this thing started. We're going to have ourselves a little marathon here and determine if the $199 was worth it. Game number 1, Fire Breather. Okay, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. And would you know this is the only game on the entire cartridge that's 2 players only? Gee, which game should we start with? Well, how about the only game you can't play alone? Well, that's $4 wasted already. Number 2, Star Evil. Who's gonna dodge that? Nobody! Not the first time. You'd have to know, oh, this is gonna be a vertical 2D shooter and there's gonna be an obstacle immediately at the start of the game. That's one way to get you on your toes. Other than that, it's real easy. As long as you keep firing, none of the enemies come anywhere near you. I guess that makes sense. If I was an intergalactic vacuum cleaner getting shot at, I'd be like, oh fucking hell, there's a menorah shooting Q-tips, get out of the way. Not even the first level boss wants to be involved. Sometimes it doesn't show up at all, and you're stuck in a dead end. What happened? Did the game give up? Ugh, that's another $4. Next, number 3, Illuminator. You're not even allowed to see in this game? Real fun idea. For a room that has about 1,000 light bulbs, it sure goes dark a lot. And they're just decoration. Thought you could light a room with a light? No, you gotta kill vampires. But after you've killed one, you only get 1 second before the room goes dark again. Who wants to play a game that's pitch black? It's so black I could see my reflection in the screen. The question is, how much more black could this be? And the answer is none. And no, you can't go any higher. This is it. Great fucking game. Number 4, G-Force... what? Or just G-Force. It's another 2D shooter. You know what? This would be okay for Atari 2600. The only 2 controls are move and shoot. This game was made in 1991, the same year Super NES came out. Not to mention, if you want to play a good 2D side-scroller game on the NES, try fucking Life Force. And what is this anyway? An inside-out dolphin shooting at roadkill toads? I don't know, I'm just using my imagination. That's all you have when you play this miserable pile of goat shit. Number 5, Ooze. Oh, wow, a title screen? Really? Oh my god, it's...
Shipickle, 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 shipickle.
Oh, righty then, okay. Well, this is the first game that uses the B button for jumping. Any gamer who grew up with Super Mario Bros. Expects A to jump, but that's the least of her worries. To jump over a hole, you have to tap the B button and then press over. If you're holding the B button like you normally would, it locks you vertically until you let go. It's an anomaly of game programming. You know what's really weird? Whenever you restart the menu, it always starts at ooze. Is that the programmer's personal recommendation? Well, so far, every one of these games is a bomb. But out of 52, I'm sure that eventually we'll find one that's decent. I hope. Number 6, Silver Sword. Well, green, green, and more green. What is this? A cabbage patch on a golf course infested with killer scrotums? This is a disgrace to the NES, the same platform that brought us games like Legend of Zelda. Silver Sword. The sword isn't even silver. Maybe it's corroded. Number 7, Critical BP, or Critical Bypass. Oh, now it's spelled with a Y? Oh, that's dreadful. It's like an optical illusion. Well, that's pretty bad when the game causes eye strain and you can't even fucking look at it. What is this anyway? A pogo ball and a Segway shooting at birthday presents? Ugh, Critical Bypass. It's critical that you bypass this game. Number 8, Jupiter Scope. Nice, another space shooter. This time you're a dead whale shooting at flaming condoms. That's what it looks like. The screen never moves. It's like Space Invaders, except without many invaders. Half the time, you're just sitting around waiting. Come on, give me something to shoot at. Losing at this game is impossible. Just hold down the fire button and move back and forth. Okay, what's next? Number 9, Alfredo, or Alfred and the Fennec. Yeah, Fennec. You never heard of Fennec? What happened? Where's the fucking game? Well, there's no game here. What happened? Did the programmers pass out, or did they just figure nobody would check all 52 games? Well, that's $4 wasted. But I guess I can't say I'm really too excited over playing a game called Alfredo, also known as Alfred and the Fennec. Number 10, Operation Full Moon. Now, that's puke green if I ever saw it. The nauseating hue combined with the texture of vomit makes me think that this game ate Silver Sword and barfed it out. Number 11, Dam Busters. Those damn busters. Well, it should have been called Alien Beaver Tomato Fight. That's all it is. You're a beaver shooting tomatoes and navigating through a maze. Oops, dead end. What the shit? You can't go back? I'm trapped? You're shitting me. This game is shitting me. Number 12, Thrusters. Another space shooter. Well, it's the same game as before, just different graphics. Where do they come up with these objects? I'm running out of imagination here. I can't decipher anything. Especially when the game starts having a fucking seizure. Number 13, Haunted Hill. Wow, a human being. I can't believe it actually looks like something. Man, her boobs are bigger than her head. It's a shitty side-scroller with the same bad controls as Ooze. Sadly, it's the best game so far. Out of the way, you fucking ghosts. Here comes Mrs. Tits, jumping like she's on the moon. Die, you onion-faced balloon floating, thing. I died by touching the air? Number 14, Chill Out. I wish I could chill out. This is horrendous. This one's basically an Eskimo snowball massacre. Climb down shits and ladders and throw snowballs. What's this? I died in midair? That seems to be a theme we're running into here. This game doesn't even care it sucks. Gee, how much money did we waste so far? Like $56, I think? That's already exceeded the average price of a Nintendo game. Number 15, Sharks. Yeah, sharks. Sometimes sharks. Most of the time not. Well, you're stuck on this one screen, but you sure have full reign. You can swim through the ocean floor. And that's all it is. Just hope for sharks to come and shoot them. Number 16, Megalonia. Another space shooter? Flying through McDonald's arches? No thanks. Number 17, French Baker. Oh man, you're a chef and the kitchen is really getting out of hand. Everything's trying to kill you. Hoagies, envelopes, and dog nuts. And what do? Hit them with your rolling pin. And don't drop down, you'll disintegrate. That's always nice. Number 18, Atmosquake. Oh, another space shooter? I pass. I'm only up to number 19? Jeez. Fuck. Number 19, Myong. What the fuck? Okay, get this. You move from square to square, hoping that the next square won't make you explode. So it's like a memory game that can only be done with trial and error. Good lord. Number 20, Space Dreams. Oh my, what's this gonna be? Why, of course, another space shooter. This time, you're a pacifier shooting at weird dolls, rabbits, and safety pins. Safety pins as enemies in a video game. Where do they come up with this stuff? Gee, what kind of enemy could I have for this game? I have 32 games left I have to program, so I have to hurry up. Ah, safety pin! That'll be perfect. Next game. Number 21, Streamers. You're a clown climbing up platforms like Spider-Man. Ooh, a rabbit in a hat. What does that do? Nothing at all. A bag of money? How about that? It turns into a green, frowning face? Is that supposed to teach you a lesson that taking money is greedy? No, I think I'm reading way too deep into it. Oh, then the game crashes. Good. Number 22, Spreadfire. What is this? They should have called this Shooter Games 52. This time, you're a lobster. You don't go anywhere, and half the time, there's nothing to shoot at. These kind of games must have been the easiest to design. Make a black background, covered in dots, and call it space. You know what? It's getting old. Number 23, Bubblegum Rosie, or Bubblegum Rossi. Yay! I've always wanted to play a game where I'm a little girl shooting bubbles. Wait a minute, you can't even kill people? Well, what do you expect? They're bubbles. You can jump on the enemies. Or wait, can you? And falling in spikes doesn't hurt you. This game has no rules. Number 24, Micro Mike. Wow, look out, Micro Mike, you're going too fast. Even if you have the quickest reflexes, you'll never be able to avoid the walls or other random objects that stand in your way. If only Micro Mike would slow the fuck down. Number 25, Underground. Well, at least it looks like Underground. Wait a minute, this guy can fall down 50 feet and survive, but if he touches the mushrooms, he spins around like a bowling pin and dies? And what am I supposed to do here? What do I do? Wow, 25 shitty games, and still going. This is an endurance, man. I've never played such a huge compilation of crap in my life. Was the whole idea to make so many shitty games that there'd be no more shitty games left to make? Out of all these, there's gotta be at least one that's tolerable. Number 26, Rocket Jock, or Rocket Jockey. You're a cowboy on a rocket with a lasso. If you actually used the lasso, that would be kind of cool, but I guess they figured they didn't have enough games that shoot. Yeah, kill those cows. Turn them into a bowl of cereal with a puppy dog. Number 27, Non-Human. Well, isn't that an appropriate title? Everything about these games are non-human, except for that very human-like face. Or are they aliens? What are these for? Other than the faces just being the area where you die, which takes up half the screen. You know you're playing a great game when you can't even jump over a hole. You can try all day, but you'll always fall down into the purple dimension of green faces. Number 28, Crybaby. By now you'd be crying, so it's like the game is mocking you. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? Baby, adult, baby, adult? Then what about him, huh? What the hell's going on here? Why does the floor look like ice cube trays? What are you attacking with? Why do you die when you fall off the furniture? Why? What? Why? Number 29, slashers. Slashers? I thought it'd be like a horror game. Instead, it's a poor man's version of Double Dragon. Saying that is being extremely generous. It makes bad dudes look like a masterpiece. At least the backgrounds change. What are these, beer steins? You're not even allowed to walk past anybody. When an enemy appears, you stop dead in your tracks and can't move until you have a punching match to the death. There's zero strategy, you just mash buttons. And what are these, hookers? I guess this guy doesn't understand the concept of a hooker. You're supposed to fuck her, not fuck her up. Die, boob lady! Number 30, Crazy Shuffle. Could the characters be any smaller? You're a tiny, indescribable object shooting tiny dots at other tiny objects. Sounds like fun? Well, guess what? It isn't. Number 31, Fuzz Power. Well, fuzz is right. You're some guy with a big nose, big feet, and lots of fuzz. You roll around fighting blow dryers and hair combs. What's that, popcorn? Oh no, I'm getting hit. I'm losing my fuzz. Now I'm naked. Yeah. Whoever came up with this is an asshole. Whoever came up with this is an asshole. Ass. Hole? Asshole. Television makes a lot of sense. Number 32, Shooting Gallery. The easiest shooting game ever. The targets never disappear until you hit them, there's no time limit, you never run out of ammo, and you can't die. Which means the game will never end. Fortunately, you can go back to the menu by pausing the game and hitting select. Ugh, except for this game. The one fucking game that doesn't end crashes when you try to quit. Reset. Number 33, Lollipop. Are you kidding me? Why not a sword or a machine gun? Who wants a fucking lollipop? How do you climb up a ladder? Want to take a guess? Pushing up on the D-pad? No, you jump. Who the hell jumps up a ladder? And you know what? The controls in all these games are so bad, I've forgotten that B is jump and A is attack. I've been playing for so long, I've sort of adapted to its crap factor. I swear, next time I play a regular platformer, I'm gonna try jumping with B. Number 34, Evil Empire. Oh, game sprites so small you need a magnifying glass? That seems to be a theme here too. Look at that. There's some crazy shit going on over there. I want to join the party. Oops, dying in midair. I can understand dying because you're jumping from too high, but can't they at least make you die when you hit the ground? Number 35, Sombreros. Well, I guess you're wearing a sombrero, shooting at vacuum cleaners on the street. Not much to say. I've lost all hope. 52 games, they all probably suck. I could think of some pretty bad games, like Little Red Hood. That's a horrible game, but at least it's one horrible game, not 52. You know what's more fun than playing Action 52? 52 card pickup. You know how you play that? Pick up the cards. Number 36, Storm Over the Desert. Ooh, another title screen. So you're an army tank shooting at other army tanks, which happen to be pink. Also, there's no way to die. Anything you touch will explode. Those pink tanks are fucking pussies. What the hell? A giant Saddam Hussein? How did they fuck up the scale this bad? The soldiers aren't giant, so why Saddam? Now I'm getting tired of this. Can someone at least try to kill me? Hey you, get over here. Pause and select. Get me out of here. Well, at least we're in the home stretch, the third and final menu screen. Another thing that gets incredibly annoying, whenever you die or reset, you have to go back to the first menu every single time. So it's hard to keep track where you left off. Number 37, Mash Man. Well, Mash Man looks like Fuzz Power with clothes on, jumping on eyeballs in front of Legoland. Ugh, next game. Number 38, They Came. They came from where? From space? No, that can't be. Oh, next. Number 39, Laser League. Well, I'm glad they spelled laser with a Z because that's how you say it. You don't say laser. By the way, horizontal 2D space shooter. Next. Number 40, Billy Bob. This is different. It's like Indiana Jones, except it's Billy Bob. I'm kind of stunned that this game has some fluent animation here. Of course, I should have learned. In Action 52, you cannot jump down. You will hit the air so hard you will die. You can't jump to the ledge either. That doesn't work, and if you stand there too long, you die. So how do you get over? I don't know. Second screen of the game, and it's a dead end. Number 41, City of Doom. You're climbing the tallest building in the world while the tenants throw bowling balls at you. That's it. It goes on and on and on. How tall is this building? It must lead into outer space. Oh no, please, please not space. Number 42, Bits and Pieces. Ooh, a monster game. You're a guy in a cemetery jumping over monsters. That's it. You jump and jump and jump. You know what would be nice? An attack? Or how about a health bar? How about anything like a normal fucking game? What were they thinking? Number 43, Beeps and Blips. You're a shape shooting at other shapes. What are these? Reject sprites from other video games thrown together? Number 44, Manchester. A guy jumping on music boxes, punching in the air. I don't get it. Number 45, Boss. Who would think boss means a frog running around with a gun getting ambushed by falling bombs? That's what they should have called it, bombs. There's no way to avoid them. If you go too early, the bomb gets you. If you go too late, the next one gets you. Number 46, Dead Ant. You're an ant trying to make other ants dead ants, like the Pink Panther. Dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant. But if the ants make it to the bottom of the screen, you're fucked, because you can only move left and right. What makes this ant different from the rest? Oh, it's pink. And anything pink in this game sucks. Number 47, Hambo. A pig version of Rambo? No, that would have been too clever. It's just a guy jumping over 8 balls and shit. Or trying to jump over. This is fucking horseshit. How did they fuck up the jumping control so bad? Have the programmers ever played another video game? Moving on. Number 48, Time Warp Tickers. You're a pair of fingers in checkerboard land with upside down doors. What kind of drugs were they on? Was this game even made by a human being? Time? When you kill things, it says time? What does that mean? Time to play another fucking game? Number 49, Jigsaw. It crashed. Oh, thank God. Next game. Number 50, Ninja Assault. Another beat 'em up, if you even call it that. No strategy, just mash buttons. Number 51, Robbie the Robot. More like Robbie the sunglass-wearing Bart Simpson look-alike in a blue dress. Guess how this game works. You move to the right and shoot. That's all. Nothing can stop you. You could literally play this game with your eyes closed. Until the second level, when there's holes. Now you're screwed. I can't believe they sold this shit fest for $199. That's about how much it costs for a video game console. Pretty much. You could take $199, stand on a bridge, and just throw it all away. You'd rather do anything than spend it on a broken down, dysfunctional disaster of video game programming. With games that crash, hideous jumping control, random characters, microscopic sprites, a marathon of mediocre space shooters, dying in midair, problems with proportion, misleading titles, misleading power-ups, embarrassing weapons, seizure-inducing backgrounds, lack of enemies, games you can't win, games you can't lose, games that make no sense whatsoever, shitty graphics, shitty music, shitty menus, and a fuck ton of other things. It should have been illegal for them to sell this rotten shitload of putrid fuck for any price. I feel humiliated to live on the same planet as someone who designed an electronic abomination of this magnitude. Couldn't they have tried making one good game as opposed to 52 horrible games? Quality over quantity. That's our lesson here. Well, there's one game left, so it has one last chance to redeem itself. Could this be the one that all the effort went into? Could there be a cherry on top this shit sundae? We can only hope. Last episode, we looked at the masterpiece of shit that is Action 52. Now, we're looking at the last game, number 52, Cheetahmen. This is like the feature presentation. There's a comic book that came with the game, and plans for a whole line of Cheetahmen action figures and merchandise. They must have spent all their focus on this one game, so this one's gotta be good. Right? It sucks! Monkey butts like all the fucking rest! Okay, let's go. Well, it's not as bad as the other games. For one thing, it actually has a story. The Action Game Master was at home playing his video game when suddenly an arm reached out of the TV and pulled him inside. Yo, watch the gonads. When he looked up, he saw 3 gigantic yellow bodies. It was the Cheetahmen. Oh, really? He began to explain. The Cheetahmen told of the enemies here in the game world. Don't worry, we will fight for you. The Cheetahmen ran off. And now, the Cheetahmen. What kind of story is that? The Cheetahmen are fighting for some gamer that got sucked into the TV, whom we never refer to again? What's this, a crotch burglar? Yeah, burglar's your crotch. Oh yeah, the enemies in this game are so inspired. They even resort to recycling characters from other Action 52 games, like Boob Lady and Saddam Hussein. Dude, think about it. A giant cheetah jumping over Saddam Hussein. Whoa, I never thought I'd see that. That's weird. Whenever you hit somebody, the music pauses for a brief moment. As far as the gameplay goes, there's not a whole lot to say. You just move right and kill everything in sight. What the hell? I can't go up? I can't go right either? Oh, you gotta go right before you can go up. That makes a whole lot of sense, just because the screen didn't move all the way. Now what's this? I can't walk past a hole? Even though I'm as high up as the game will allow. If you can only pass the hole from below, why is there such a big space up there? Not to mention, why couldn't the cheetah fall down the hole instead of exploding into 4 glowing orbs? Oh, and guess how the level ends? Like that. It just stops. What more do you expect? Welcome to the most awesome glitch of all. I'm jumping perpetually in midair. Yeah, I could do this all day. That's no problem. Oh, what the fuck? I went through the top of the screen and came out the bottom and died? You might say it's my fault for cheating, but come on, when I fall down, I don't drop through the ceiling and live. Besides, there's more enemies in the air than on the ground, so I don't recommend it. In level 3, you're a different Cheetahmen. This is where the game starts to get hard. First of all, to die, all it takes is a few hits. Then because this big tub of fuck is such a large target, you can't duck either, so there's not much you can do to avoid all these projectiles. The jumping glitch only gets you so far. Fuck. Fuck. Oh no! Wait a minute. A 1-up? And it skips me to the next level? Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes. But here's the weird part. The next level's supposed to be 4, but it's called 3. So there's 2 level 3s? It begins with this bizarre flashing disco strobe with Tetris blocks. What's that all about? And what's this? A health bar? I have a health bar all of a sudden? Well, that's convenient. I don't know why it's not in the other levels. And now the jumping glitch doesn't work anymore? The rules of jumping change from level to level? The major reason why it's so difficult is because you outrun the screen, so you're always taking damage from enemies that you can't see until it's too late. I mean, look how far to the right I am. Oh shit. You gotta jiggle back and forth just to get the screen oriented properly. Rhino Man here, or Rocksteady, whoever the fuck he is, he kills you in one hit. Doesn't matter how much health you have, he runs right in and you're dead. The only way to beat him is to very slowly inch your way up, and as soon as he appears, you run all the way to the left. If you're just a hair too late, you're dead. Then you have to make very subtle taps with the D-pad to get yourself facing right, and one tiny step forward, just enough so he can't touch you. It's like the only way to beat this game is to cheat. Guess that's why it's called Cheetahmen. Now we're up to level 4, which is actually 5. This time you get a cheetah that shoots arrows with a crossbow. You'd think that would make it easier. But no, the arrows never hit anything. They're too small and you can only shoot one at a time. It doesn't matter how careful you are, the enemies will always sneak in a hit before you can kill them. By the way, the health bar's gone again, but the formula's the same. 3 or 4 hits and you're dead. And I die on the first 3 or 4 enemies. Wow. The fuck nuggets who made this game thought they were going to make action figures and it was going to be the next best thing to Ninja Turtles? Well, that's the end of Action 52. But they made a Cheetahmen sequel. Oh yeah. You know how with a bad game, sometimes you wonder how could it have even made it in the stores? Well, this is a case in which the horror was so unspeakable, the game was never released. The cartridges were taken to a warehouse where they remained for years to come. It was never meant to be played. Then, in the late 90s, a massive break-in took place. The cartridges were discovered and became valuable collector's items. That's a true story, except that the real story was probably a little less dramatic than that. Only 1,500 of these games are known to exist, and they command outrageous prices on eBay. I don't know if I should consider myself lucky or not, but here it is, the unholy grail of gaming. Would you believe that this game is so bad it doesn't even get its own cartridge? They recycled the same plastic casing from Action 52 and put a Cheetahmen 2 sticker on the back. Let's pop this golden turd in and give it a go. The plot involves a Dr. Morbus who creates an ape-man to fight the Cheetahmen. At least it explains who the villains are this time, and no mention of the stupid Game Master. The gameplay and graphics are similar to the first Cheetahmen, and it reuses the same music. Geez, at least try to do something different. If they made Cheetahmen versus Chester Cheetah, that shit would be the motherfucking ass. The only thing original about this game is that you shoot tornadoes with a crossbow. Yeah, next time there's a tornado ripping through town, just shoot an arrow at it. At least there's a health meter this time, but how many hit points do I have? A half and 2.5? The glitches are out of control. Blocks randomly change color, there's a stone nugget that keeps appearing out of nowhere, and what is that? The game's taking an 8-bit shit. You'd think they would have ironed out all the flaws and improved all the mistakes made the first time around. But no, somehow they actually made it worse, like pouring salt on an open wound. You die by jumping. Yeah, if you walk and fall, you're fine, but jumping from a great height, you're fucked. Oh, come on, I can't land on that thing? Then why is it there? The biggest issue is not being able to duck. You couldn't duck in the first game either, but here, 90% of your enemies are on the ground. That's a major problem. I still can't accept this fact, so I'm always hoping in vain that if I press down hard enough, it'll duck. Sometimes enemies come in pairs. You can't even jump over that shit. They can't hit me here, right? What? Let's see that again. You can't even stand above the enemies. The only enemies that aren't on the ground are up in the air. Can't jump over, can't duck, and can't even shoot with a straight shot. You have to pull off a tricky jumping shot, but the enemies appear so quickly you don't have time. The second level boss, on the other hand, is too easy. All he does is run to the right, never jumps, never throws anything, never changes pattern, just runs in the same direction until he's dead. Level 3, it's the big cheat again. Since all the enemies are stationed on the ground, the jumping glitch actually works favorably this time. But but I don't feel bad about it. You know what, game? All the shit you put me through the first 2 levels, now it's my turn. Yeah, you wanna play dumbass? Well, double dumbass on you, motherfucker. You swine, you son of a motherless goat. Level 3? Both games have 2 level 3s? How'd they repeat the same mistake twice? Maybe it was intentional. Now it's time for the ape man. Oh, get your head out of my crotch, you monkey fuck. You won't get me this time, you son of a bitch. Whoa, speaking of monkey fuck. Get back here, you shit biscuit. Where'd he go? He's not coming back, is he? Oh, man. Alright, so can I jump up and kill myself? No? Not this time when I need it? This is limbo. This is purgatory. The only thing I can do now is reset the fucking game. You're not gonna get away this time. Yeah, bitch. Well, I beat the game. At least I got as far as you could possibly go before it fucks out. Well, this is where I'd end things. But there's yet another Cheetahmen game. Yeah, Action 52 on the Genesis. They just couldn't leave it alone, could they? Well, you'd think it would be the same as the NES version, except for enhanced graphics, but believe it or not, it's totally different. So before we can move on to the last Cheetahmen game, let's take a quick look at what these assholes shat out this time. That music is so Genesis. It's nice we have outer space on the title screen. I mean, at least they're being upfront with it this time. Look at me, I'm shooting at strands of vomit in Space Town. But to tell you the truth, there's not that many space shooters. There's only about 6. That's kind of astonishing. They probably made up for it with the abundance of puzzle games. There's nothing wrong with something that challenges your mind, but this went way overboard. It's called Action 52. I want some action. Besides, if you're going to make a puzzle game, can you at least have some instructions? There's a game called Echo, which is basically Simon Says. Come on, that thing was in every toy store in the 80s. Did we really need a watered-down version on a Sega Genesis cartridge? There's definitely more of a variety here than on the NES. There's a pinball game, a boat game, a skiing game, and a handful of different action games. But they're all just shittier clones of mediocre NES titles. There's a flying game that's worse than Top Gun, and there's a racing game that's a shittier version of Rad Racer. There's also a tank game based off Storm Over the Desert. Remember in the NES version, you're invincible and anything you touch explodes? Well here, it's the total opposite. You can't even touch a soldier. What kind of tank is that? Then there's games that are too easy. In Alien Attack, if you just keep running right and shooting, nothing will stop you. In the ninja game, you can actually run through everybody. In Bombs Away, you're running through a village avoiding bombs, but they'll never hit you as long as you keep moving. You can also jump like you're on a trampoline. Look at him, he jumps higher than the houses. And there's nothing to jump over, no holes, no obstacles, nothing at all. There's also a boxing game where the same thing happens. Have you ever seen a boxing match where somebody jumped, let alone 10 to 20 feet in the air? Another theme I've noticed is roadkill. There's a game called Freeway, which is an exact clone of an Activision game called, Freeway. They didn't even change the title. Instead of a chicken running across the street, you're a dog. That's horrible! The poor dog doesn't just get run over, it gets smushed into pieces! The other roadkill game is Skater. You're some kid on roller skates jumping 50 feet in the air, of course. And most of the obstacles are dead cats. At least I'm pretty sure they're dead. Why else would a cat be laying in the road? Tell me, If you're programming a video game and you have a choice of all the things that could be on the road, like mufflers, puddles of oil, traffic cones, hubcaps, fallen trash cans, open manholes, of all the things you could put there, why does your imagination go straight to dead cats? The names of these games are as mystifying as before. The tank game is called Norman. Is Norman the name of the guy in the tank? Then there's Sunday Drive. Yeah, just chilling out, going for a nice, relaxing Sunday drive, speeding through traffic at 100 miles per hour on a 5-lane highway. There's no accelerator, all you get is a horn, which doesn't do a damn thing. Oh look, Segaville, next exit. Again, and again, and again. For a non-existent exit, it sure has a lot of signs. There's a lot more 2-player games this time around, so if you're playing by yourself, that's just more games you can skip. Dino Tennis is pretty funny though. You're 2 dinosaurs whacking a caveman back and forth. And a purple dinosaur? Really? Don't we have Barney? Isn't that enough? They recycle the same grunt and scream sound effects countless times. Even the spaceship screams. They must have been really hard-pressed coming up with ideas to fill 52 games. This one, called Appleseed, is just a farmer catching apples. Hell shit, motherfuckers. Damn apples come out of trees so fast, motherfuckers. Then there's this shitty drawing game. Yeah, try drawing with a D-pad. Game number 51 is called First Game. Seems like a contradiction. Why isn't it the 51st game? Well, guess what? It's Pong. This blows my mind on so many levels. First of all, just the fact that they had to use Pong to fill one of the games. Second, that Pong even exists on Sega Genesis. And third, the first game? Like it's the first video game ever made? That's debatable. The Odyssey came out the same year, and that was being worked on since the 60s. And before that, there was Space War. And if you really want to go back, there's those old games made out of radar equipment like Tennis for Two. So that's all they got for the 51st game? As for the 52nd game, there is none. It's just a trial run of the hardest levels from the other games. So technically, it shouldn't even be called Action 52. There's only 50 games. But at least they're all functional. Only once I've had a game crash, and it worked after I reset the Genesis. So just being able to play all the games is more than can be said for the NES version. As for the games with identical titles, they're all different and improved from their NES counterparts. In Ooze, you can actually jump better. In Dead Ant, your ant can actually move up and down. And in Sharks, there's blood. So, let's move on to Cheetahmen, so I can clean my hands of this Action 52 shit. For some reason, this time it's game number 13. I guess they realized that there's no sense saving it till the end because it's just as shitty as all the other games. There's no story this time, no explanation, no intro, just a title screen, and then it drops you straight into the game. Is this the badass 16-bit version of Cheetahmen we'd hoped for? The background looks like the wallpaper in a baby's room. And the music, well, just listen. Sounds like something you'd hear if somebody slipped on a banana peel. Even the NES music was better. One-hit deaths? Isn't that great? How do I keep dying on the same part? I know you're coming. I know you're coming. Ah, fuck! It's because you outrun the screen. Why's it gotta be like that? And what's up with the punching? When you tap the button just once, it throws 2 or 3 punches. You can only punch while standing still, and if your timing isn't perfect, it leaves you vulnerable. Well, I've made it to the end of the screen, I think, so my only guess is that you're supposed to collect all these cheetah icons. I mean, who knows? It's not like the game gives you instructions. Oh, and after you die, just once, all the icons are back, so you might as well just reset. Ugh, getting on these vines is such a bitch. Ugh, and look at that. Am I on the vine, or what? I'm not gonna let that thing kill me this time. Oh, there's a bat. Oh, you mother of an ass! Look at this situation. Yes. No! I can't even beat the first level, and I'm trying as hard as I can. Oh my god, oh my god, no, no, no! I don't believe it. I just can't believe it that This is even less playable than the NES version. You'd think by now they'd come back down to Earth and unfuck themselves. But you know what the really good news is? I'm done with Action 52.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shit.
Don't you just hate it when that happens? You'll be playing a game, and then all of a sudden, it starts glitching up. Oh, come on. Metal Gear's fucking up now? You blow in the game, jiggle it around, use different consoles, but it still doesn't work. You know, when this happens, that means that there's something inside your game. Something that wants to reduce the graphics into a pixelated mishmash of garbage. You're dealing with a game graphic glitch gremlin.
Good day to you, nerd. How are you? Good day, sir. As you know, I'm the glitch gremlin. And I've got glitches in my britches for you, nerd. I've got
I'm gonna lay the fuck smack on you. You think I can't still play?
Would you say it's a goddamn work of art? All the earth tones, the browns and the greens. It's just like Mother Nature. I like to bring it into the room.
It's ugly. Like your mom. You son of a bitch.
Try and switch the game as you might, but I can switch my glitches tonight, huh? And here we have Punch Out with Iron Mike Tyson. I just ironed out his face. How do you like that? We'll call him Shitface Mike Tyson.
You little fuck nugget, get out of my game!
Oh, you've been throwing the dust out. I spent all day trying to get it in there. Well, if you're gonna blow it, why don't you blow me? Wah! I shit all over it with me glitches.
I almost wonder if the glitch gremlin had a deal with game companies to sell you all kinds of cleaning devices that you don't need. I mean, would you really need this to clean out a game? It's just as good for cleaning out your ass. I'll show you how to clean these fuckers out. Get yourself a Q-tip,
Oh, not the Q-tip.
put a little cleaning solution at the end, like that. You don't want too much. You don't want too much moisture in the game.
Keep the Q-tip away. Keep it away.
And glitch gremlin, be gone.
Huh? Oh, you're a real asshole. I'll be back.
Yeah. Of course, some glitches can happen because of programming errors and can be triggered on command. So for those who want to be a glitch gremlin yourself, here's a trick you can try at home. In Mega Man 2, go to the Airman stage. Make sure you're equipped with item number 1. Now it's time to fight Airman, but instead, let's surprise the fuck out of him. Use item 1 to touch the door and see what happens. Wow, have you ever wondered what it would look like if the Airman stage and Dr. Wily stage part 2 got thrown together in a blender? Speaking of Mega Man, I had a unique experience with the 5th game. It happened a long time ago, and I doubt it will ever happen again. Fortunately, I have the evidence recorded on a VHS tape. It was a long night, and I was hell-bent on finishing the game. I made it to one of the final bosses. Under normal circumstances, I should have been able to see the giant pieces that fly out from the robot's body and been able to use them as platforms. But the glitch gremlin was playing dirty that night. He knew I made it far, and that there was no continue code for this late in the game. This was my first time trying to beat Mega Man 5. So imagine my confusion when I kept getting struck by invisible objects. The platforms were invisible, but they appeared to be stationary on the robot. Just an illusion, graphical dummies meant to fool me and sabotage my entire night's effort. My only option was to reset the game, but I couldn't accept that, so I pushed on. I kept jumping at the air blindly. 9 times out of 10 I'd get hit. Finally, after much patience, I got the invisible pattern down and was able to destroy the boss. And that was a great moment in nerd history.
That's impossible. I've never seen anything like it.
I should get a gold medal. Sometimes games can be unpredictable. Cheetahmen 2 is a prime example where the whole game is a glitch. As already described in my Cheetahmen review, after you beat the 4th level boss, you get stuck in limbo. So there's no way to play the last 2 levels unless by a freak accident. If a blue moon occurs on Friday the 13th and all the planets align, the game will actually start up on the missing levels. The frustrating part is that now I have no choice to play it. It's not like this is going to happen again. So it's like I gotta sit my ass down and play the 2 hardest to find, most mysterious levels in video game history, in what's already one of the rarest games in existence. What a privilege. Oh, and guess what? It sucks. Yeah, just like the rest of the game. Both levels are called Level 3, so that's 4 Level 3s in total. The final boss just runs back and forth. You stand there, hit him till he's dead, and after that, what happens? You guessed it. Now, if I ever have to talk about Action 52 and Cheetahmen again, I'm gonna staple my fucking ballsack to the ceiling. Double Dragon was a game I played so much, I used to find weird things all the time. If you touch the wall on the first level, you can become a human elevator. And if you bring the whip up there, you can do this. Call them glitches or Easter eggs, whether intentional or not, sometimes they can be helpful. Don't feel like fighting the boss at the end of stage 2? Well, don't. Just walk away. He doesn't even try to follow you, as if saying, "Fine, you fucking pussy." Tired of fighting those big muscle men? Just climb the wall. He's like, "Oh, fuck that, I ain't going up there." Probably the most famous of all video game secrets is the warp zone in Super Mario Bros. It first came as mild amusement when gamers found you could break the blocks all the way up on the ceiling. Then the moment of discovery came when you found out you could actually get above the ceiling. Wasn't that hilarious to see Mario running in front of the scoreboard? But that was only the beginning. If you went past the exit, you ended up in a warp zone where you could skip to different worlds. But then, somebody who had way too much time on their hands found out that if you break some of the blocks and perform a very specific jump, you could actually slide through the wall. This still takes you to the warp zone just the same. Unless you don't walk too far. If you jump into the first pipe right away, it takes you to world -1. Well, it's just an underwater world that repeats in an endless loop. There's also an interesting thing known as the double death. If you die on a Hammer Brother, try pausing and unpausing. Let's check out Mario 2. This game is so much fun. Lifting enemies over your head and slamming them into one another, so cool. Fuck them up. Whoa, what happened? Let's try that again. Oh! I love these POW blocks. They wipe out all living creatures in sight. There's that classic trick where you go in that little dark world, you pick one up and wait for time to run out. And now you have twice the POW. It's doomsday for this place. Oh no, it changes gravity! The destructive force of the POW block is so intense, the rest of the game can't handle it. Turtle shells and different objects fly all over the place. What happened? Where'd the bomb go? It like dropped through the floor. I wonder where that ba-bomb went. Ah, ba-bomb, ba-bomb! You know that annoying Phanto fucker, that face that chases you around whenever you get the key? Don't you hate that thing? Haven't you always wanted to kill it? Well, here's how. You collect exactly 4 cherries and 4 vegetables. Get the key, let the bastard chase you somewhere where you can get a time stopper. Now, get 1 more cherry to make the star appear. And hurry up, time's running out! Ah, yeah, I got him! Finally killed that ass face. Moving on to Mario 3. Yeah, might as well. The Glitch Kremlin usually stays away from this one. Yeah, it's a little too crowded with demonic possessions. But nevertheless, it has its share of glitches that you can perform yourself, like sand diving and air walking. As for Super Mario World, there's a neat trick here too. Go to Chocolate Island 3, get to the goal. Instead of jumping up like normal, you release Yoshi in midair. The screen is still fixated on where Yoshi was, and you can only see Mario's legs. But that's only the beginning. Wow, the stability of all the colors in this world depend on Mario and Yoshi making that jump correctly. For some reason, gamers enjoy finding these kind of glitches. Maybe it's because we take pride in finding flaws that the programmers overlooked, or maybe it's just because we like playing outside the rules, to go exploring. Well, for the boldest of explorers, there's Mountain King on the Atari 2600. Getting tired of the same old platforms and ladders, wouldn't you like to go to a whole new higher level of gameplay, literally? By performing a very specific jump, you can launch the character higher than usual. Then you have to land on a very specific spot. If you're 1 pixel off, it doesn't work. And sometimes it doesn't work anyway. You have to keep holding the joystick in the direction you're jumping and release it at the precise moment. Now, welcome to Glitch Heaven, a vast world without logic, a place not only of sight and sound, but of mind. By playing with all the switches on the Atari console, you can cause the layout to change. You can also plug different controllers into the second port, like the paddles or even the keypad. You can even try the ColecoVision controller or Sega Genesis. It's like a mad scientist experiment. I tried for hours and I still haven't been able to find everything. There's been reports of the screen flickering, the character changing size, and strange unknown objects. Will you be the next adventurer to discover the unexplored secrets of Glitch Heaven? From the old days of gaming until the new, it seems like game glitches will always be around. In Zelda Twilight Princess on Wii, I was jumping around when somehow I got stuck in a roof. Unfortunately, I didn't have it recorded in the act, but I sure tried to recreate it. It couldn't be done. Let's play Rocky on the PS2.
Not you again. What happened to the audience?
Well, you sure packed quite a crowd tonight, nerd. You sure did. Standing room only. Full house of glitches. Ding, ding, ding. In this corner, we have weighing in at 0 pounds and 0 ounces. Nothing. In this corner, we've got much of the same. Nothing. Did you hear that? What's that sound? Huh?
Next up is a fight.
Sound of a glitch. Your glitch. Enjoy it.
Next up is a fight. Next up is a fight. Next up is a fight.
No use resetting. Not gonna do a thing.
Yeah, fuck you. It's working now.
Spider Rico.
What was that?
I put him through the floor. That's a good one. Good one, Glitch Kremlin.
From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Rocky Balboa.
Oh yeah, I'm glitching. Get down, you bad self. Get down. Get down. Get down. Woo!
Wow, I've never seen a game this fucked up.
Not gonna work. Not gonna work. What time is it? Not gonna work, o'clock. In this corner, we have Bug-Eyed Balboa.
What happened to his mouth?
His eyes are popping out. And in that corner, we've got Spider Rico with no jaw.
They're like zombies. What is this, Rocky the Undead Edition? You are really one sick fuck, you know that? I'm gonna try Clubber Lang.
Oh, Clubber Lang, that could be a good one. Let's see what else I got up my sleeves. Oh, I'm not wearing any, but for my final showstopper, feast your eyes on this.
No, yeah, baby.
It's a Clubber fuck! I need a beer.
Oh, you want to play dirty, do ya? Bing! How do you like that? Sip on a nice, cool bottle of glitz. Bing! A nice, comfy couch of pixelated glitz. Glitz! Glitz! Bing! Bing! Glitz! 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 Bing! 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 Glitz! 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 Glitz!
So many bad games to talk shit about. One of them I get a lot of requests for is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
Really? That's a bad game? I thought it was pretty good. I mean, look at it. It's gold. But it's a mixed opinion kind of thing. Some people love it, some people hate it.
With the first Zelda, I think everyone agrees it's a masterpiece. Sure, maybe there's some weird stuff in it. I don't know why one of the labyrinths is shaped like a swastika, or why the enemy names are so random. What do you call that? A rabbit's head? Wrong. A Pole's voice. What's that? A mummy? Gibdo. What's that? A ghost? Guinea. What's that? Well, it's kinda like... What? It's called a like? Yeah, I'm not making this up. This is all coming straight from the manual. What do you call that? A snake? Wrong. It's called rope. Yeah, really. If you can't tell the difference between a snake and a rope, you're in trouble. What's that? A bat? No, it's keys. What do you call the keys then? Bats? What's that? A knight? A dark nut. Well then what's that? A Geiger councilman? Oh, a rock. What's that? A spider? A tektite. Now what the fuck is a tektite? Is that even a real word? Let me look it up. Yeah, it is. Tektite. Any of several kinds of small glassy bodies in various forms occurring in Australia and elsewhere, now believed to have been produced by the impact of meteorites on the Earth's surface. Yeah. Or a spider.
Well, fuck. Let's move on to Zelda 2. It's been a while since I played this. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's get to the bottom of it and see how well it holds up today.
Well, the overhead world does kinda suck. Everything looks like a block, Link is so minuscule and looks like a little gnarled green turd. But also he manages to be larger than the houses. How does that explain when he walks into the town? Does he shrink in size? Well, then again, how did Link always carry so many items with him? It's not important. It's a fantasy world where nothing makes sense. The most common generic criticism I've heard is that the game is a side-scroller, for the most part, and none of the other Zelda games were like that. Well, think back to when it first came out. There were only 2 Zelda games. One was an overhead view, and the other was a side-scroller, mostly. So there is no real standard yet. The annoying part is that you can't fight anything on the overhead view. These generic cookie-cutter enemies pop out of nowhere, and if they touch you, it brings you to a short battle screen. This is a good chance to rack up on experience points. But most of the time, you're just trying to get from one place to the next, and you have to keep stopping to fight these bastards. The enemies you fight and layout depend on where you got caught. If you got caught on a grassy field or in the middle of the woods, it's always different. You might get swarmed with enemies, or you might have it so easy there's no point at all. Like here, all I gotta do is dodge these fuzzy fuckbutts and leave. It gets old quick, but if you think about it, it's not as bad as Final Fantasy VI, that is 3 on Super Nintendo. Here, you can't even see what hits you. That's as random as you can get, but hey, that was a great game. I know a lot of RPGs like that, but I guess that's not what most gamers expected from a Zelda game. There's no Ganon either, or at least not until you die. Well, this is the only direct sequel to the original game. Zelda's in a sleeping spell, and Ganon's been killed, turned into red ash. Now, supposedly the other villains are trying to resurrect him by using the blood of Link, similar to the Hammer Dracula films where they always mix somebody's blood into Dracula's ashes. So it's kind of disappointing that the only time you see Ganon is when the game's over. Not to mention, what's that look like? Could he possibly be holding his sword in a more suggestive position? The object of the game is to go into towns, learn magic spells, and go to palaces. In each palace, you find a new item and defeat a boss. I've heard some rumor that if you defeat the boss before getting the item, the palace will turn to rock and you won't be able to get the item. But as far as I'm concerned, that's not true at all. The palace only turns to rock after you've completed everything. One thing I can say is that this game is hard as shit. I think we can all agree with that. That doesn't mean the game's bad, challenge is a good thing, but challenge should be given to the player in increments, meaning a game should gradually get harder as it progresses, and that's where Zelda 2 dropped the ball. The first 2 levels are pretty easy, but then it hits you with Death Mountain. Holy fuck. It's the most difficult part of the game, and there's no fucking around. You gotta go right through it early on. These red lizard dudes are on super steroids. Even if you manage to jump over them, they throw their axe. Ah, shit. Where the hell am I going? Oh, god damn. Shouldn't they have put this part at the end of the game? I mean, what could be more dangerous than Death Mountain? They got it all mixed up. That's not to say the later stages aren't hard, but by then you've gained more health, your sword's stronger, and you have all kinds of helpful magic spells to get you through. But here, you're like a 4-year-old trying to fight Hulk Hogan. So before you can even try to face Death Mountain, you have to go mess about, fight random enemies, get experience points, and power up all your shit. You gotta get the pee bags. What are pee bags anyway? Piss bags? That's right, Link collects bags of piss. And even when you're all powered up, you're lucky if you make it through Death Mountain. And the fun doesn't stop there. You get the hammer, break the block, and look for the secret grave that leads to level 3. Just to get punished some more. Ah, you piece of dog shit.
Fuck you.
Back at the beginning. Oh, that's nice. Now I gotta walk all the way back to the palace. In every other Zelda game, if you die in one of the palaces or labyrinths or dungeons or whatever, it will start you at the entrance. But here, they decided, fuck you. You die, you go all the way back to square one. Assholes. Of course, I have to mention the towns. It's so peaceful. Yeah, you need a break from all that madness. But the townspeople aren't really that helpful. Hello? Why even include a character in the game that has nothing to say? Most famous is this guy, I Am Error. Well, maybe that's just his name, that's all. Maybe it's pronounced Error. In each town, there's a woman that restores your health. She invites Link inside, and you never see what's happening in there. Is she giving him a potion? Is she performing a magic spell? No, we all know what's really happening. Link is like, you know, getting a little of the old in-out, in-out. I mean, this isn't little boy Link anymore. He's grown up now. He learns all these special moves like the down thrust, the up thrust. In there, he learns the cunt thrust. Yeah, that should be the name of a band. But really, Link deserves to get some because of all this hell he goes through. He's not gonna get any from Zelda. Well, then again, she's in a sleeping spell. What was Link doing there in the first place? Oh, no. Link's a poonhound. Another thing that's fun about the towns is that you can jump on the roof. Yeah, that's fun. Watch this, I'm gonna turn into a fairy. Wait, that's not supposed to happen. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. What the hell?
Villagers! You like them?
No.
Let's see what happens if I go up here and turn into a fairy. I fell through the floor?
I am putting to the floor, to the floor, to the floor, to the floor.
I don't want to go through the floor. But then again, what do you expect if you turn to a fairy when you're high? High up or high on drugs, either way, you'll see glitches.
Do these skulls ever die? You'll kill your thumbs faster than you'll kill this thing. Oh, thank God. Tell me this. Why does Link get hurt by bubbles? What kind of pussy is he? You gotta fight some wizard, but he's impossible, unless you get a magic reflect spell from some guy in a town, but before he'll give you the spell, you have to rescue some little kid. Look at that. I don't know why, but I find that very funny. I mean, that's great. Somebody should make a t-shirt of that. It's like every time Link finds something, he has to hold it up. Imagine having him as a friend.
Hey Link, have you seen the remote control for the TV? Oh, cool. You found it. Okay. Yeah, you could put that down.
Some of the items are disappointing. The candle, for instance, it automatically lights up the dark areas in the caves. But wasn't it more fun when the candle used to shoot fire right in the old man's face? The flute doesn't do the same thing either. Here, you use it to get past this huge spider and open level 6. But how are you supposed to guess that? In the first game, it was for transportation. Oh, and I hate these horse heads. The way they move up and down, it reminds me of the Medusas in the Castlevania games. Yeah, anything with a pattern like that. These games gave me so much stress as a kid, I developed a psychological complex. Whenever I see wavy lines, I get fucking pissed. Sometimes I try to cheat. I turn into a fairy and fly around. I know it's really stupid, but if you're gonna cheat, you might as well be a fairy while you're at it. It doesn't work that great anyway. You never have enough magic to do it, and there's a wall. Damn! You fight the dragon, go through a cave, and knock down some trees with a hammer to find a hidden town. In this town, you get a spell, try using the spell, and the only thing you'll find is that it changes some of the enemies. But unlike the rest of the spells in the game, this one has a secondary function. There's a certain spot that seems like a dead end. You use the spell here, and it makes a temple come out of the ground. How are you supposed to know all that unless you read Nintendo Power? The townspeople don't help that much. They might as well just say, get the power, Nintendo Power. Yeah, it's classic hidden cryptic Nintendo horse shit. I always hated this part too. These guys peek their heads out over the fence like Tim the Toolman's neighbor and throw rocks. That's child stuff. I mean, come on, throwing rocks? Once you make it to the last level, you can actually restart there if you die. So finally the game gives us a little mercy. But if you don't have any extra lives, it doesn't matter. You gotta save up all your free guys. Yeah, all those little mini links you find throughout the game, save those fuckers up. You'll need every one of them. Then you fight the Thunderbird, and finally Dark Link, sometimes referred to as Shadow Link. This is the final boss in the game, and hard as fuck. He mimics your every move and will kick your ass. Come on, come on, come on! Come on! Ooh, fuck!
Well, it's impossible. I'd have better luck trying to fight my own shadow. You motherfuckers, come on! God damn! You can't beat your own shadow, and that's what this game is. It's your dark alter ego that knows more about you than you know yourself. I don't know how you could win, unless you're really hardcore. Some gamers are so hardcore with the first game, they've actually made it to Ganon without the sword. That's insane, but people like a good challenge. You want a good challenge? Try beating Zelda 2 with the Power Glove. Yeah, that's a laugh. In conclusion, it's still a great game, but many consider it the black sheep of the Zelda franchise. And understandably, it's very different from the first game, but obviously Nintendo didn't want to just rehash the same game over again, so they tried something new. Some people were confused, and admittedly it had some mixed results. But it had a legacy of its own. It was the first Zelda game to have towns to visit and to have a magic meter, and many games copied its style, such as Battle the Olympus and even Rambo. Bottom line, it's a good game, but a very frustrating one. I'll never beat it as long as I live. Nope. It's time to go back to the past. Again. Remember when I was the angry Nintendo nerd, reliving the frustrating games from my youth?
Ass! Fuck!
Well, not much has changed, but I was never really satisfied with my older videos.
I've always wanted to go back and complete them the way I originally intended. The McKids video, for example, I felt like there should have been a dancing scene with Ronald McDonald, Grimace and the Hamburglar, and Dracula, and Skeletor. I'd also like to go back to the original negatives, clean them up, make them look good as shit, and give them some new enhancements.
Sonic Boom! Sonic Boom!
In the Friday the 13th video, I shot Jason Voorhees in the head.
No good piece of
That made me look like a cold-blooded killer. I always felt Jason should have shot first.
fucking game, you no good piece of...
I'm just kidding. I have no intentions of changing my older videos like that. But with all seriousness, some of the games I've done, I could have covered them a little better. Mainly the Back to the Future games. But first, let's take a look at some of the other games that I could have done better justice.
For example, Top Gun. Even the title card could have used some extra work. Look how shitty that is. Oh, okay. Well, that's way better. I only played through half the game, and considering how short it is, I really wish I would have shown the ending. The final target is a space shuttle. That didn't even happen in the movie. Why are we destroying a space shuttle? Can't let those fuckers go to space. Oh, come on. Do I really have to land the plane one more time? Couldn't the game just end right there? I accomplished the goal. Who cares if I crash the plane? We'll just say it's a suicide mission. A lot of people questioned why I had so much difficulty trying to land the plane, so let me explain it better. Pushing down makes you go up, and up makes you go down. For flying games, that's standard, but the on-screen instructions don't make it clear what they're telling you to do. Does up mean push up, or push down to fly up? Speed up? Okay, now it's saying up, up, so is it still telling me to speed up or fly up? Or no, I'm a fucking dipshit. It says right there, the altitude and speed. So just follow the numbers. Don't pay attention to the flashing instructions. You can tell that thing to go fuck its face.
I'm gonna land this thing. Oh yeah, I'm finally gonna land the plane. This time, I'm gonna do it for real. Oh, I got it. I got the speed right, but the altitude's off. Oh, I'm going too fast. Hey, if anybody sees that plane, can you let me know?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I already mentioned the part where you go into the nightclub and find Jessica Rabbit's phone number. It's an actual 800 number that you're supposed to call. Back then, if you called the number, you would have heard a recording telling you some game tips. How did I resist not calling that number for real? Let's call it and see if it still works.
No credit card? Try Collect Callback. Dial 1215 Sex Talk and we'll call you right back, connecting you to hot live talk with horny students, housewives, and working girls. That's 1215 SEX.
Wow, the number has definitely changed. And we now have a Nintendo game that gives a phone number to a sex hotline. That is fucking awesome.
And what about Judge Doom? He's one of the most difficult bosses in video game history, and I barely said a damn thing about him. Anytime Doom hits you, it takes a great deal of damage, but when you hit him, it doesn't do much. With such a huge assortment of weapons, you'd think that there would be one that inflicts more damage on him. But nope, he has no weakness. All you can do is punch, punch, punch. It may seem easier than it looks, but Doom has no clear pattern. You gotta get lucky and just get him in the right rhythm so you can keep hitting him. Once you knock him down, you think it's all over. But no, you gotta pick up the dip cannon. But before you can use it, you have to select it. Like, no shit, why wouldn't I want it selected? The worst part is that now Judge Doom kills you with one hit. It doesn't matter how full your health is. Anyone's natural reaction is to tap the button, but that won't get you far. You have to know to hold down the button, and only that way can you beat him. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. With this episode, everybody seems to be happy with it. That's fine with me, but it could have gone on much further. I only showed the first 3 levels, just barely. I mentioned the tough jumps in the sewer, but this one in particular I've always obsessed over. Now, I gotta pay my respects. This fucking jump. As a kid, I spent hours on this part, and in 20-something years, it hasn't gotten any easier. It's all because of this stupid platform. They don't give you any room to make the jump. Whenever you fall, the water current takes you back out to the street. Then, you have to go all the way back through the building before you can even get a chance to try again. Ugh, I hate this. And don't tell me you can just fucking walk over it. You can try creeping up on the edge and giving a light tap, or you can forcefully jump as hard as you can. You'll never make it, not without a lot of luck. The Technodrome, jeez, anybody who's made it this far knows what I'm talking about. Before you can even fight the Technodrome, you gotta find it first. You go in these underground caves fighting the toughest enemies yet. They jump all over the place, throw lots of shit, and they're too stubborn to die. At the end of the cave, you'll either find the Technodrome or an empty room. So it's back out the way you came. Each of these caves, you're guaranteed to lose one turtle. By the time you eventually find which cave has the Technodrome, you're lucky if you have any resources left. You're beat to hell, and here comes this big mecha giant shooting lightning, firing bullets, and catapulting an infinite army of foot soldiers. Sometimes there's so much shit on the screen, the game goes to slow motion. Don't you love it when Nintendo games do that? I have managed to beat the Technodrome. After that, you go inside. Wow, this Technodrome is huge. It didn't look that big on the outside. I'm down to one last continue here. I'm not gonna make it. Oh no! Ah, fuck.
Now, of course, everybody's got to understand, just because I'm going back to some of the games I've already done, that doesn't mean I'm running out of games. Just look back there. Look at all these fucking games. I got plenty to work with. But now, it's time for the main event.
Hey, I'm having deja vu here.
It's time to go back to the past, to go back to Back to the Future. I revisited this miserable shit turd from my childhood, and now it's time to revisit my revisiting of it. I wasn't satisfied with my incomplete review of it and my lack of attention to the sequels. I guess you could say I was a slacker.
Even the shirt I was wearing was all wrinkled. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but even worse, I just threw it on and didn't even take time to button it. I already mentioned how the game has nothing to do with the movie. You're collecting clocks, throwing bowling balls, and dodging bees and other bizarre things. One thing I didn't elaborate on before is how Marty has some serious problem with his legs where he can't stop walking. You think this is a goddamn flying game because you can't stop. Imagine the problems Marty must go through on a daily basis, being cursed to walk for all eternity. Imagine trying to order at a fast food restaurant, or any restaurant. Imagine going to work, or trying to use a bathroom, or fly on a plane. He can only stand still when he's behind a counter at a cafe throwing milkshakes. Anybody who's played this cafe stage knows how unforgiving it is, and I've talked about it already.
But wouldn't you like to know what the rest of the game is like? Do we ever see Doc Brown, or does the DeLorean ever make an appearance? Or any of the other things from the movie? Let's find out.
The rest of the street stages are all the same, except they change the color. No effort, time is money. Don't design another stage, just change the color, and kids will think it's different. Do they think we're idiots? Then we come to an empty classroom where Lorraine, I guess, is shooting hearts at Marty. What is he, the teacher all of a sudden? And what's he catching hearts for? I suppose it's like in the movie where Lorraine has a crush on Marty, but that's his mom, so he's trying not to let that happen. Why isn't he avoiding the hearts then? Oh, I see. I guess he's catching them in a book or something? It's the most literal interpretation of a movie. It's about time, so let's have clocks. It's about romance, let's have hearts. Was this game designed by a human being, or did they just feed the movie into a computer to process and then shit out this nonsensical fuck poop? Once again, like the cafe stage, you have to score at least 50 points. Then it's on to more walking stages, and after that, it's the Enchantment Under the Sea dance where Marty plays guitar. What do? You have to catch musical notes. What more did you expect? I'll tell you one thing, it's certainly no Guitar Hero or Rock Band. Why does Marty play the guitar like a stand-up bass the whole time? Why is he wearing a boiler suit? I guess the same reason he's wearing a black muscle shirt. Where's the red jacket or the suit? Couldn't they have gotten Marty to look anything like he did in the films? And what about the music? Wouldn't this have been an opportune time to hear Earth Angel or Johnny Be Good? Okay, wait a minute. It is Johnny Be Good. On crack. If they could make the DuckTales theme sound awesome in 8-bit, why not this? At least you get some different music for once. Next, more walking. And finally, the DeLorean. Yes, the DeLorean makes an appearance after all. This is supposed to be the scene where Marty's trying to get back to the future. The streets of Hill Valley are getting slammed with repeated lightning strikes. All you have to do here is dodge the lightning. That's all. Why are you dodging lightning anyway? Isn't Marty trying to get the lightning to hit the DeLorean to generate the 1.21 gigawatts and send them back to 1985? Isn't that the whole fucking idea of the movie? Anyway, that's Back to the Future NES. No special ending. Nothing. Fuck that music.
Well, now that we've seen the whole game, we can conclude that it has some relation to the movie, but it doesn't have any of the familiar music cues. And don't tell me it was some kind of licensing issue, like they were able to license the movie, but not the music that belongs with that movie that we all recognize. No Back to the Future theme, no Power of Love, no Back in Time, no Johnny Be Good. Well, fuck this!
Next came Back to the Future 2 and 3. This one has the Back in Time song, or at least part of it. And the intro scenes follow the movie quite well. But then the game starts, and you see all these dinosaurs, snails, and runaway trash cans. What the hell happened here? It couldn't possibly be any more different from the film. In this timeline, when Biff brought the Sports Almanac to 1955, it somehow created a world full of piranha plants, killer clouds, and evil Martys. I like how it says Back to the Future on the bottom of the screen, just to remind you what you're playing. Otherwise, you'd forget it has anything to do with Back to the Future. When I first reviewed this game, I was being a shithead. I never explained how it's played. And that's where things get really interesting. You're supposed to collect 30 items and bring them all back to their rightful places and times. You find the items behind locked doors. To unlock the doors, you need to find the keys, which are found by killing random enemies. But the keys don't sit still. They fly off the screen the second they appear. Usually, you're not expecting the key, so you might not catch it. Once the key's gone, it doesn't return, not unless you exit the level and come back. Even when you get a key, most of the doors don't let you in. I don't know the reason for this, but when you do find the right door, you'll get an item. But you don't get it right away. You have to do some sort of mini game. They're all different, but the goal is the same, to collect all the clocks. How original. After all that bullshit, you finally get the item, and now you have to find where to take it. I know where the game designers can take it, but that's another story. You have to find another room that's hidden somewhere obscure, like under a manhole or inside a pipe. Once you find this room, you think that's it. You return the item and then you're off for the next one. But no, it's not over yet. You have to solve a puzzle, a scrambled word. You select the object from your inventory that corresponds with the scrambled word. Like if I have a milkshake, I have to look at the word and think, is that milkshake? Well, it doesn't look like it. What if it's supposed to be root beer float? How would I know what they're calling it? If this is the wrong room and that word doesn't belong to the object, then you have to leave the room. If you try selecting the item, you will lose that item and have to go get it all over again. It's even more confusing that the objects in the puzzle rooms are never in the same place or time. You have to use the DeLorean to travel to the different time zones. And there's 30 of them. 30 items. How could it be any worse? Well, guess what? There's no save feature. Who came up with this? We're not even allowed to turn off our Nintendo? We have to beat the whole game in one clean shot? Don't be so fuck. I played for 2 hours straight without returning a single item. I ran from one side of the board to the next, traveled to different time periods, and searched every last inch. I just don't know where I'm supposed to go. It's hard to even keep track of where you've been. After you've found and returned the 30 items, you're only halfway through. You still have part 3 to deal with. Jeez, I could do something much more productive with my time. I could learn a new foreign language. I could study microbiology. I could train Siberian tigers. Instead, I'm degenerating my brain cells into 8-bit pixels. At least you can skip to part 3 with a code. On the title screen, hold B and select, then unscramble another word. If you know the code, you probably know the word. Why does everything have to be so cryptic? Why did LJN have to make every NES movie adaptation? Couldn't they have given somebody else a try? No, they wanted to incorporate the entire spectrum of awfulness. Purple for putrid gameplay, blue for bad musical abominations, green for graphical farts and garlic, yellow for piss-poor lack of loyalty to source material, orange for aren't you a fucking idiot, and red for high-stress, anger-inducing masochism. Put that all together, you got all the colors of the shit rainbow. Hooray, LJN. I'm fucking pissed enough, but now I got one more game, Back to the Future 3 on Sega Genesis. Believe it or not, it has the Back to the Future theme, but it sounds like ass. What a piece of shit. Naturally, the graphics are a big step up, going over to a 16-bit console, and it represents the film far better than the Nintendo games. But there's one fatal flaw: the difficulty. You're Doc Brown on a horse trying to save Clara from going into the ravine. Unfortunately, the ground is littered with crates and other random obstacles, and the air is filled with birds, tomahawks, and all kinds of projectiles. You get hit once, it knocks you off your horse, costing you precious time. If you fall only a few times, you have to start over. Hazards come without any warning. The human brain cannot react as fast as this game demands. It's like a memory test. The only way to get by is to remember the whole level.
Jump! Jump again! Duck! Shoot! Fuck! You fucking processing! Stop being so blast!
It's really hard to distinguish which objects are hazards and which are just there for decoration, like this underwear. This is a perfect example of a game that starts out way too hard. It's only the first level and I can't beat it! From what I understand, there's only 4 levels. For a Sega Genesis game, that's pathetic. I guess they were too lazy to design a longer game, so they just made it more difficult so it would take longer to beat, that's all!
Oh, that fucking song. I am so sick of hearing that. Next time I hear Ghost Riders in the Sky, I'm gonna think about going 100 miles per hour on a horse, jumping crates and getting shot at and shit.
Fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
Oh my god. 3 Back to the Future games. And they're all fucking horrible. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's right. Super Back to the Future 2 on the Super Famicom. This game must have been so bad, it didn't even get an international release. I guess I'll give it a try. A good Back to the Future game? Somebody made a good Back to the Future game? And it was only in Japan? What the fuck is wrong with this fucking world? We get these shitty games, but not that one? Like, what the hell? Why would you do that? It's good. I mean, it's not great, but it's the best goddamn Back to the Future game I ever played. It's actually a game. Why bury the gem and dig up the turd? Innocent people have suffered through these fucking fuck heaps. People have developed fuckatitis from this shit. People have gone on to live horrible lives, kicking babies in the balls. If you would have went back in time and said to people, hey, there's a good Back to the Future game. Put this shit down and go to Japan. They would have looked at you like you're telling them to go teabag a goat on the surface of Mars. Well, thank you for taking a fucking shit on us all. Well, hope you enjoyed my Nintendo Days Re-Revisited. Oh, and guess what? Yeah, I hate sentences that begin with that. Guess what? Because you know it's never a good thing. But the fact is, I have one more game to revisit. I don't want to say what it is, let alone even play it. But I'm thinking about it. In May of 2004, I gave a warning about a game called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I made it perfectly clear. Do not play this game. But from what I understand, people have played it. They didn't listen. But it wasn't their fault. I only showed about 1 minute of footage from the game, and even though I talked about it at great length, it didn't do any good. I called it a piece of shit. I called it an awful pile of steaming goat shit. But that was honoring it. I could have said anything, it wouldn't have mattered. I could have taken a shit on it, but my own shit would have been offended to lay on this loathsome piece of filth. Just the thought of covering this thing in doo-doo is like encasing it in gold. I curse the day I ever laid eyes on it. I curse the plastic that holds this abomination. My words are insufficient in describing the total insult to humanity that this game has provided. Everything that I've ever said and anything that anybody else has ever said is not enough. It must be shown. What's up with the guy on the cover anyway? He looks more like Two-Face. You know, I wonder where this guy is today. Did he even realize the magnitude of what he's taken part in? He's the one who made me want to play this game. He meets your eyes with this hypnotic gaze, luring you in, thinking that you're going to play something cool. But really, you've just been fooled. Like biting into chocolate-covered shit. You know this game was made by Toho? The same company that made the Godzilla films? No wonder Godzilla's been extra pissed off lately. You know that the proper pronunciation is Jekyll? That's what the author of the novel insisted, Robert Louis Stevenson, but only the first sound movie got it right, which was the one starring Frederick March, and every movie since then said Jekyll, and nowadays that's kind of... I know, I'm only delaying the inevitable. You know, puppy dogs in France in 1951 had a... Alright. God damn, let's do this. Wait a minute. That music. Okay, you ever played Rygar? You know, that action-adventure game? Well, listen to this. Sounds familiar, right? Yeah. Alright, let's play some Jekyll and Hyde. Oh, God. Here's the deal. If you die as Jekyll, you turn into Hyde. Die as Hyde, the game's over. There's two ways to die as Hyde. Number one, the traditional way, getting hit too many times. Number two, getting as far as Jekyll. Yeah, you know whenever lightning strikes and you drop dead in your tracks for no apparent reason? Well, that's the reason. You got too far. You see, when you're playing as Hyde, you're actually playing the same stage that you played as Jekyll, but in reverse. So, if you reach the same spot where you died as Jekyll, as Hyde, then you die as Hyde. Wrap your head around that. The whole idea is to turn back into Jekyll. You do this by killing certain creatures which relieve your stress meter. Get the meter back down, and you go back to being Jekyll. This is no town like in a Zelda game. These people don't want to talk to you, oh no. They simply want you dead. For what reason, I cannot imagine. Your only weapon is a cane, but it does nothing. When I first played this, I thought I was doing something wrong. I mean, there's got to be some explanation, right? But no, there is none. The cane has no purpose whatsoever. Why would you put a weapon in a game that you can't even use? When you're Hyde, it's like playing an entirely different game. Ah, help, help, I can't walk backward. I'm getting scrolled. Even when the steps come, you're forced to jump. Even though the enemies here look far more threatening, you can actually fight back by shooting crazy projectiles that the game calls the Psycho Wave. Very creative. It certainly travels in a wave-like path, and yes, I'd call it psychotic too. With a pattern like that, you have to be lucky to hit anything. Oh, and guess how you pull off the move? By pressing up and B. Yeah, up and B. Not too cryptic, but not too obvious either. B punches, but why would you want to punch when you can shoot? It's not like you can run out of ammunition either, so the punch is worthless. The irony here is that when you're Jekyll, it's unplayable, but when you're Hyde, it actually starts to feel kinda like a fucking game. But you're not supposed to let yourself become Hyde, as if bad is more fun than being good. That's the idea, right? Jekyll's good, Hyde is bad. So why do the townspeople hate Jekyll? Should it be Hyde they're fighting against? When you're Hyde, you're just defending yourself from evil monsters. You should be going around the town, beating people up, walking into bars, starting fights, getting drunk, raping women, and causing a ruckus. That's Mr. Hyde. No, instead, you're shooting fireballs at ghosts, demonic babies, and brains with legs. Now, I'm sure the same thing is on everybody's mind. Does any of that shit that happens in the game happen in the book? Well, I have read the book, and no, it doesn't. Although I can say the game is very true to the original title of the book, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because this game is certainly a very strange case indeed. Supposedly the Japanese version has more levels, while the US version replaced them with some of the same levels repeated. So I guess the Japanese version is better? Kind of like eating a skunk versus eating a skunk with a little salt on it. All you do is walk to the right. Don't stop for anything. It's not like you can attack anyway. Just keep walking and walking and walking and occasionally jumping or waiting for a spider to move. I'm actually out of breath from looking at this. Why do you walk so slow? You know what? It's not that you walk slow. You walk normal, like a real-life human being. But everybody else comes flying at you with all piss and vinegar. What did the good doctor do to make everybody so upset? I could see the townspeople sitting at the local pub talking about him all day. Yeah, I see Jekyll. You see him? I see him walking. He just keeps fucking walking. I don't like him. He's an asshole. He wears his underwear backwards. He has eyeballs for testicles. Well, according to the manual, Jekyll's on his way to his wedding, and the kid with the slingshot named Billy Pones has a crush on Dr. Jekyll's fiancée. Wow, I'm impressed. I didn't think there'd be a reason. But it doesn't explain all this other shit. Who's this jackass with the bomb? Don't you just hate it when you're walking down the street minding your own business and somebody puts a fucking bomb in front of you? This is the worst part of the game. If you get hit by the bomb, it takes half your life, and sometimes all of it. And the range of these bomb blasts is truly remarkable. You could be a mile away and it still hits you. And each level has about 1,000 of them. Why can't the bomb kill anyone else? Is the rest of the town immune to bomb explosions? Even the spiders don't die. Oh, these bees, go away! What happened? I killed a bee? I killed something! The only thing you can kill in the whole game, and it's a little tiny stupid fucking bee! There's a gravedigger throwing dirt in your face, there's a hunter shooting ducks out of the sky that conveniently drop on your head, and there's a singing lady who hurts you with her musical notes. Honestly, that's the explanation that they use in the manual. Her singing is so bad, it hurts you. Not at all like the music we hear the whole fucking game. I'm getting pwned by Billy Pones. I'm getting charged by women in pink dresses. I'm getting mutilated by rabid dogs and pissed off cats. Watch out for the bird shit. What? It's definitely shit in a Nintendo game. And are the birds shitting dog turds? Yeah, look at it. They shit half their own size. That's not right. Birds shit little white splatter pellets, not big brown coiled up poop mounds. And they never stop. Jeez. Wouldn't this be a good reason to call off the wedding? I mean, he has had quite a day. Wonder how the bride's been doing. She's probably worried about, I don't know, her dress or the color of the fucking flowers or some shit. Next thing, the groom shows up covered in bomb ashes and bird shit. Sorry, honey, I'm late. I had quite a day. All living creatures in the whole fucking town tried to kill me, that's all. What makes him think the church is gonna be any better? Is the priest gonna throw candles at him? Is Jesus gonna climb off the fucking cross and start hitting him with it? Is that statue taking a piss? It's taking a piss. Oh great, now there's birds shitting into the piss fountain. This is perfect. Look at this picture. This sums up the whole game. When Robert Louis Stevenson wrote his story about a doctor who makes a potion that exposes his inner evil, he didn't realize that the potion would become a reality, not in the form of chemistry, but through a late 20th century interactive electronic apparatus. Awful music, dreadful graphics, unspeakable gameplay, deceptive enemies, unavoidable hazards, useless weaponry, all mixed together and calculated just right. That is a horrible concoction. Fuck! 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 Robert Louis Stevenson, you ruined my life!
Fuck you! I am the devil! Now go play some Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde!
No! I think I get it. Why, it's the best game ever made. It's more than a game. It exposes the dual nature of the human spirit. The only way to win the game is to be Jekyll, but you want to be Hyde so you can shoot shit. You see, it's a constant battle between good and evil, and Jekyll must stay farther along his path than Hyde. If Hyde gains the lead, then evil will triumph over good, and that's the true conflict of the human soul. And to deny the evil completely would only force it into the subconscious mind, like a city broken into different social classes. People don't want to step outside their own boundaries, like Jekyll wandering into the wrong section of town. He's unwelcome. Nevertheless, he must abide by his own good nature. No wonder the cane doesn't work. The game does not reward you for acting upon your malevolent intentions. It's a proposed guideline for a set of morality rules to be programmed in real life. It uses the Victorian era as a fundamental depiction of outward respectability and inward lust. It's a metaphor for social and geographical fragmentation. It alludes to the Freud theory of repression, in which unacceptable desires or impulses are excluded from the conscious mind and left to operate on their own in the unconscious. Or you could just say, the game fucking sucks. What's the point? It's all gonna be dust one day. Lester the Unlikely. It's unlikely that this is going to be a good game.
Okay, title screen. Guy swinging on vine. Like every other jungle adventure game. Then comes the story. You're Lester, a comic book geek who wanders onto a dock and then... Oh, okay. I have no faith in this character already. If he's going to go to sleep on a piece of cargo that's being loaded onto a ship. He becomes an involuntary stowaway, the ship's raided by pirates, and Lester swims to a nearby tropical island. That's where the game begins. Now that is the most embarrassing walk cycle I've ever seen. What's he doing? What the hell's that about? Jump! Oh, what is he, humping the air now? Oh, come on, he can't even jump without getting hurt? This guy needs to take lessons from Mario. You're not allowed to jump from too great a height. You have to stand on the edge, face the opposite direction, and gently lower yourself down. It's tedious, and it takes a while to learn. It's not that uncommon. There were other games with a similar control scheme, like Prince of Persia, Out of This World, and Nosferatu, which all use the same style of rotoscoped animation. But this is just annoying. Half the time, Lester does things against your own will. I didn't do that, the game did. Have you ever had a game character disobey? Go near the damn turtle! Why does he keep running? What's so threatening about a fucking turtle? Run, Lester, run! Get away from that turtle. That turtle might charge really fast. I figured out that you can kill these crabs by kicking. And yes, that puny little kick is your only means of attack. The air humping, I don't know what that does. But you can't hump the turtle. I'm trying to jump on this thing, but it's not working. You can't jump on the turtle? Oh, you kick it. Why didn't I think of that before? Jumping on the turtle. I really gotta stop thinking about Mario. How am I supposed to get up there? Can I push the rock? Yes, I can. Alright. Come on. Get up on the rock. Okay. Fuck. Let me push this fucking rock. Push the fucking rock. There we go. Alright, this is as close as it can get. Fuck! I'm stuck again. Alright. Jump! Oh, what? Oh, fuck! Get on the fucking rock. Okay, alright, closer. Fuck. Get closer. Fuck! Jeez, I feel like a fucking dumbass. Get up there! Get the fuck up there! Oh, man! I don't know how I did it. Oh, shit, there's birds now? Duck! Oh, no, 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 no! Let me go! Oh, I have to do the whole level all over again? This game is ass gravy. The next level's inside a cave, and now things are becoming very labyrinth-like. On top of bad control, I don't even know where to go. Doo-doo. The only way to find out what's below is to drop down. Oh, come on! That time I didn't even let go. You can't even jump and grab on a ledge without taking damage? You know what it is? You're just not allowed to take shortcuts. It has to be as slow and diligent as possible. What a fussy game. Oh no, why do so many games have to have bats? Duty! I don't have time to climb down. This is a moment when being able to jump would be really helpful. I hate bats. I fucking hate them. Get away from me. I can outrun them. I can do it. Oh, shit! This is a penis-shaped piss stain on the face of gaming. I'd rather fuck the Wicked Witch of the West. I'd rather play a CDI game, yeah. Like The Flowers of Robert Mapplethorpe. No, I wouldn't. What's this? I never noticed this rock before. Can I pick it up? Oh my god. Now I feel like an idiot. But I can't really blame myself. I thought the rock was just part of the scenery. How's anyone supposed to distinguish it from all this other crap? Oh, great. A dead end. The rock doesn't do anything. Okay, there's a treasure chest. I'll open the lock by just ricocheting a rock against a wall. A ruby. Cool. Wait, I can't keep both the rock and the ruby? Are you kidding me? You can't hold a weapon and item at the same time? Why even have two boxes then? And there we go, off to the next level. Now he's afraid of totem poles? This guy sucks. Now we gotta jump earthquakes and fire and shit? This isn't the kind of game that should require platforming jumping skills. Once you land on a sinking platform, you're stuck. You don't even get a chance to jump back to safer ground. Jump. Ah! Jump. No. Jump. The fucking hands! Jeez! Jump. Oh, fuck. Why does he stand still? It's like he's asking to die. After all, it's the same guy who slept on a cargo platform. Just let him die. Who wants to play as a weak, pathetic character like this? Wouldn't you rather be a tough guy? Isn't that the whole point of playing a game? To feel empowered? To be someone you're not? I mean, I get it. He's supposed to be a nerd. Well, this nerd makes me look like Charles Bronson. Steve Urkel could beat the shit out of this guy. I think this whole thing was an experiment to create the world's worst video game character.
No wonder why he didn't get his own sequels. I can imagine what Lester the Unlikely 2 would have been like. The game would start, and you couldn't even move. All that happens, Lester pulls down his pants, sucks his thumb, and takes a shit. The third game, you couldn't even get past the title screen. All that happens, you push start, and Lester falls down and farts. The fourth game doesn't even work at all. You just put it in your Super Nintendo, and it explodes. The fifth game isn't even a game, it's just a bag of shit that says Lester the Unlikely 5 on it. Ugh. And there's a new one coming on the PS4 using the latest state-of-the-art technology of constructing the disc out of orangutan diarrhea. Just turned out that was the only way, and it really gives Blu-ray a run for its money.
And the original Lester will always be a classic that's improved like wine. Wine that's made from fermented rat piss with a fine aroma of the dead fly-swarmed carcass of a 3-day-old deer. With the delicate, crisp flavor of skunk farts with highlights of ass sweat. The palate is rich with hints of residual dried poop crust from a truck stop bathroom. Goes down with a long-lasting finish of fly-covered summer harbor trash.
Fuck this game. And you know what? Fuck all games. I'm gonna watch some TV. Man, TV nowadays sucks.
Every gamer down in Gameville liked Christmas a lot, but the nerd who lived just north of Gameville did not. He stood there on Christmas Eve, staring down from his cave with a sour, nerdy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town.
Oh, Christmas. That time of year when everyone gets an awesome new video game. But the ones I always get are so unspeakably lame. Wall Street Kid is a game about cash and stocks. Might as well fill my Christmas socks with trash and severed cat cocks. Toki going ape spit, I admit. You can't move while spitting and die in one hit. Killing Time on 3DO doesn't give you enough ammo. Your parents paying $50 for a game where you shoot the fuck out of ducks really sucks. I'd rather eat deceased skunk yeast than play inferior arcade ports like Altered Beast. Altered Beast is a nut-kicking feast I can't stand in the least. Then there's games that are so ridiculously hard. Giving a reasonable challenge is something the programmers disregard. Last Action Hero, I can't even pass the first stage. Getting whacked to death by Ernest P. Worrell sends me into a fit of rage. Double Dragon on Atari? What is this shit? I can't even get up and score one hit. SCAT stands for Special Cybernetic Attack Team, but the droppings of carnivorous mammals is what the word SCAT really means. It's as close as you can get to a Nintendo game called shit. Balls is an aptly named travesty on SNES that makes no sense and is a cockamamie butt-brained mess. I'd be so let down playing on Christmas morning, but a game with a clown should have come as a warning. All those young gamers get to play something he or she enjoys, while I get the ones with terrible graphics and awful noise. If they played 2 seconds of Ultraman, they'd throw that junk, I reckon, back to Japan. They'd puke at the nauseating effect of Marsupilami. The camera jumps with the character, and that's a bunch of shit sauce and salami. They'd take an axe to Mad Max. They'd take offense to Taboo the Sixth Sense. They'd shriek squeaks and squeals racing around with Bigfoot's uncontrollable wheels. They'd try kicking in Pit Fighter like there's lead weights tied to their heels. They try skating in Skate or Die without falling flat on their face, while staring at Rodney Dangerfield with a mohawk. Such a disgrace. The kids today have their first-person shooters. They talk on their headsets and go online with their advanced computers. They play their music and rhythm games, go jumping around and swinging. When those morning Christmas bells are ringing, they're rocking out in their living rooms, jamming and singing. They'd sing and they'd sing and they'd sing.
And the more the nerd thought of this Christmas sing, the more the nerd thought,
I must stop this whole thing. I put up with this long enough now. I have to find a way to stop Christmas from coming. But how?
Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The nerd got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The nerd laughed in his throat.
I'll make a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat.
And he chuckled and clucked.
What a great nerdy trick. With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. While all the gamers are asleep tonight, I'll give them some games they can play alright.
You're a mean one, Mr. Nerd. You really are a jerk. You're shameless as a shit mop. You've got mischief in your smirk, Mr. Nerd. I wouldn't blame you when you're playing Atari Berserk.
The nerd's sleigh started down toward the town, where the gamers lay a snooze without care, when he came to the first little house on the square.
This is stop number 1.
The old nerdy claws hissed. He climbed to the roof, bags of shitty games in his fist. Then he ducked down the chimney. A bit absurd, but if Mario could do it, then so could the nerd. Then he stuck his head out at the fireplace where the gamer stockings all hung in a row.
These stockings,
he grinned,
are the first things to go.
Then he slithered and slunk, so silent and swift. Around the whole room, he took every gift. He took all the games that would make the kids happy, and replaced them with ones that were terribly crappy. The Three Stooges, North and South, Linus Spacehead, Captain America, The Punisher, Bill and Ted.
TNC Surf Design, that one's pretty good. Like a rat's ass they'd like it, they would. It's by LJN, that's all you need to know. It's the worst surfing experience you'll ever undergo. The controls blow, and there's a cat in a tuxedo, a gorilla, some masked men. It's really a freak show. You move around, staying adrift on a motionless tide. One wrong move and it's the end of your ride. Even if you're doing fine, you'll suddenly get hit by a bird. It's as much fun as wringing the stank juice out of a turd. Skating may be the best part, but it's still just as delightfully tart as a broccoli bean burrito eating skunk that's ready to fart.
You're a vile one, Mr. Nerd. You've got demons in your soul. You're wacky and you're wicked. Your crap is full of coal, Mr. Nerd. You're as charming and fun as a grizzly bear with a gun.
We'll see how they like circus caper. It's as fun as inhaling Chewbacca's anal vapor. You're running around, knocking down carnival performers, and the crowd are all clowns. Why are the clowns in the audience and not in the show? Why do they spell the name of the game? What shame, we'll never know. When you punch people, items fly straight up in the air. That's unfair, makes me rip out my hair. The hell with Sir Isaac Newton, they don't care. What goes up must come down. Not in this game, they were just fucking around. What turkeys worked on this murky mess of monkey jerky? Some quirky jackass from Albuquerque? Punching, kicking, lunging, and sticking. Short-range attack, bending way back, like a broom somewhat, been shoved up your butt. What's that? Bonus stages to keep score? What for? Since Atari, score doesn't matter anymore. When you die, you go back. Only one chance. Cut me some slack. In this stage, I'm flying around. I'd like to stay up, but they force me to go down. There's no buffer, you can't touch the bottom of the screen. Killed by invisible airspace, the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Tiny elephants, a kangaroo in a ring, a guy with a sword, all crazy things. Throwing soccer balls at a shit sack. What were they, smoking crack? Jumping in and out of magic hats, fighting over meat with white cats. Save the girl, why am I not thrilled? She was a target for knife throwing? Too bad she didn't get killed. How about Puss in Boots? That one really sucked. Dodging eagle poop in a car? Man, it's fucked. Nothing's more high class than the Statue of Liberty going right up your ass. Puss in Boots appeared on the title screen to Fist of the North Star. What's that mean? A fist coming out of a star? Gee, that's bizarre. One tiny jump takes you to the top of the screen. Damn, you almost touched the score. What are you, on a trampoline? Trying to break blocks, just can't hit the spot. With those white socks, just kick till you rot. Walking so slow, why can't you run? So tedious, that's no fun. The boss exploded after I died? A random guy vanished? What, did he just hide? Going upstairs, where am I now? There's no continuity, I don't see how. 1 minute I'm here, 1 minute I'm there. I just reappear any place, anywhere. Guys jumping through the roof, this game is so glitched. Now they're coming through the floor, what's going on? This is such a bitch. You can't go in most of the doors, like this big one, how can you ignore? Finding the right door is such a chore. Come on, where do I go? What a bore. Finally, when you do find the right door, how do you go in? Want to know the way? Not up, not down, by pressing right, B and A. How much were they drinking? Why is it so stinking? I'm staring unblinking. What were they thinking?
You're a foul one, Mr. Nerd. You're a dreadful, drunken schmuck. Your mouth is full of cusses. Your mind is full of yuck, Mr. Nerd. The three words that best describe you are, and I quote, fick, fack, fuck.
It was in the morning light when all the gamers began to rise, and in the nerds' delight, eagerly listened in on their surprise.
I know just what they'll do, those swines. They'll play those horrible games. Their Christmas will be ruined, like all mine.
The nerd put his hand to his ear, and he did hear their sounds growing fast. At first they were aghast. Why then, they started to laugh. Every gamer down in Gameville, the tall and the small, was playing with the worst games of all. He hadn't ruined Christmas. It came just the same. The nerd, with his nerd feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came with bad dudes. It came with Swamp Thing. It came with Goonies, Waldo, and Ring King.
He puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the nerd thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe bad games mean a little bit more. He rode into Gameville to the girls and boys. He brought back their presents, all their games and their toys, both the good and the bad, the outdated and the rad, the notorious and nifty, and the PlayStation 3s, the Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii's. He brought everything back, all the games for the feast, and he himself, the nerd, played Beauty and the Beast. Welcome Christmas, bring your cheer. Cheer to all the gamers far and near. Welcome Christmas while we play some pretty fucking shitty games today.
Oh no, time to play a shitty game for the 98th fucking time. Dreamin Davey. Should I even care who the hell Davey is? Oh no, it's Hal. Don't trust anything called Hal. Actually, the same company created Kirby and developed Super Smash Bros. Maybe this won't be so bad then. Awesome! Oh no, I just jinxed the whole thing. Well, as you probably guessed from the title, this is all about a kid who daydreams. Starts out, Davey's in school and a bully steals his pencil. So he's got to get the pencil back? Man, that's some epic storyline right there. So, Davey falls asleep in class and dreams he's in the Middle Ages. It's like your typical Zelda-esque adventure, but instead of trying to save a princess and save the lives of everyone in the land from evil forces, it's all about getting a pencil. Right from the beginning, you're stuck behind some rocks. Guess I can't go past them, so I'll just go right. Oh, you can't go right. Maybe you push the rocks out of the way? No, they don't move. Maybe I jump over them? A attacks, B does nothing. Well, I guess I can't jump then. Suppose I'm done with this game. Oh, B and A. You have to hit them at the same time. Ugh. You know what I love in games? When you get some kind of item that gives you invincibility or stops time, but only lasts about 3 seconds. And how the enemies can go through trees, but you can't? That's really fair. Then you get to a large knight named Lumper. When you beat him, you'll get the lance, which is supposed to represent Davey's pencil. Why does he care so much about a fucking pencil? Was he planning to take it home after school and shove it up his ass or something? Then he starts telling the teacher he was lost in this forest, as if he was really there, like the fucking teacher's gonna believe him. So she cuts him off and says, it's artwork time. Get ready to draw. Draw, draw, like it's a chore. What? He goes to sleep again?
He falls asleep again? That's the one time in school I wouldn't fall asleep. I mean, during my normal classes, I'd be drawing on the pages of my math book and shit. That's the whole point. You draw when you're bored of school. He should have fallen asleep during math class or something boring. Did the game programmers really not know the difference between something the kids like and something they don't like?
I love how they depict going into the dream world with a trippy vortex. It's like something out of an Atari game. So now we're in the Old West. There's vultures shitting exploding bloody diarrhea. Ugh, gross. And what's going on here? What's going on here? You can't walk behind the store? That makes no sense.
Oh, sorry. I was just daydreaming about playing a better fucking game.
So the object here is to catch a bad guy. Why would a kid be buying guns and going after a criminal? Well, it's his fantasy, whatever. You don't see that in games too often today. Imagine Call of Duty playing as a 7-year-old. Anyway, you go in this building, a guy starts shooting you, and you die. This is the only part that uses a fucking targeting system. I move the cursor right over his dick nose and shoot, but he still kills me. Oh, I see. You gotta shoot the gun. Well, duh, I should have guessed that, right? Anyway, another lame cutscene and you end up in ancient Rome. I walked all around here, found a bow in some building. Some lady tells me not to cross the bridge before I get a shield. Well, I got a thing by a tree that I thought was the shield, so I went back and crossed the bridge, then a bunch of psychedelic flashes started fucking up the screen. Bummer. Apparently, that wasn't the shield. The game tricked me by putting a circular-shaped object on the ground. Come on, why not let me know? Just have a sign that says, "Not the shield." So I keep searching around and eventually find the shield. I guess it's a shield. Looks like a bullseye or, I don't know, Daisy Duck's nipple or something. Now I'm back at the bridge. No trippy side effects this time. Now it's time to face the Cyclops. You use the shield to deflect his attack, I think. Okay, never mind, I'm dead. Oh, that's great. I have to start from the beginning of the stage? And I have to find the bow and the shield all over again? Alright, didn't take me that long, but guess what? There's no more shield! What the hell? This is the same guy I killed last time, isn't it? So, now the game just isn't going to give me the shield? Well, I tried it again and again, and I figured out what the problem was. You're not supposed to kill the guy, you're supposed to touch him. That's right. So the first time I got lucky. This is the one guy you're supposed to touch. If you kill him, the shield dies with him. Makes a lot of sense. So now it's time to fight the Cyclops again. But first, some advice from this statue of, I don't know, Aphrodite or whoever the fuck it's supposed to be. The Cyclops is not truly dead until his eye is pierced. Okay, let's try it out. Alright, come on, you motherfucker, come on, Alright, he's dead. I didn't really aim at his eye, so I don't know what she was telling me about. Stupid lying bitch. How about tell me when I have to aim at somebody's gun? That would help. So here I am back in the Middle Ages, and I gotta fight a huge badass knight. Well, that Cyclops took a lot of abuse, so I'm thinking this guy's gonna be even harder. Nope. Just slash at him a few times and that's it. Don't you love games with totally sporadic difficulty? Then you get a sword, but of course it's a dream, so when he wakes up, it's a ruler he's holding. Why is he so excited about a ruler? Does he want to measure his turds? Then the teacher says, "What are you doing? You're gonna see the principal for this." For what? For measuring his turds in class? Then the principal starts yapping away, which sends Davey back to sleep. What is he, on medication or something? Why can't he stay awake?
Davey?
Okay, so now I'm in ancient Rome. Again. We're only 5 stages in. Did they run out of ideas? Oh, wait, never mind. Now I'm in hell. Literally, I'm in hell. I gotta talk to some skeleton who says to get a coin or else I can't take his boat ride. Why would I want to get on a boat with some creepy skeleton anyway? Now I gotta leave hell to go find a coin because hell's cheap and there's no currency down there. I got a hint that the coin could be in a tree, so now I'm running all over the place, whacking every tree with my sword. Well, damn, I just tried every tree in the whole stage. I don't know where else. Oh, of course. It's the tree in the very beginning. You gotta go all the way back to the first fucking trees you see. So, take the damn coin back to hell, give it to the skeleton, and he takes you on his boat to the other side of the river. Fight Cerberus, the 3-headed dog, and after that, it's back to the Middle Ages. Again. But wait, now it's a winter wonderland? What's this, a pile of shit? Seriously, that's what it looks like. What else could it be? Fight the big knight, and then it's back to the Wild West again. Well, I guess the stages just repeat a lot, so get used to it. The sheriff has Davey go over to a bank to fight some robbers. Now I ran out of bullets, so I'm gonna try using my whip. But that doesn't work. The whip does nothing. So all I have left is a stick of dynamite. Well, that got him, but it's a little excessive, kind of like robbing a bank with an atom bomb. Well, now I'm shit out of luck. No bullets and no more dynamite. So this time I restock. Look at that, 99 bullets, I'm ready to go. Come on, is this guy gonna die? Oh, okay, I used all 99 bullets and it didn't do anything. Maybe I'm supposed to go somewhere else, like go to the right? Nope. I'm exploring every inch of the screen here. Oh, only at the very bottom can you cross into the next screen. Wouldn't it be nice if there was something indicating which spot on the screen you're allowed to go right? What's this, a hooker? She asks if I need some help? Really, there's a Nintendo game where a hooker tries to sell herself to a kid. Now this whole thing is worth it. Well, actually, she just gives you a relic, and you can trade that for a shotgun so you can kill those robbers. The next stage is ancient Rome again. Now it's like a maze. Okay, so I'm dead. Then it asks me if I want to start from here again. Do I want to start from here? Yes, I would like that very much. What? I'm at the beginning of the stage? That's not what I chose, you lying fucking sack of shit! Then you fight the Medusa. This is probably the hardest boss in the game because you can't look at her when her eyes flash, or else you'll turn to dust. Finally, when you kill her, you grab her head off the ground. You know what would be really awesome? If Davey woke up here and had the teacher's decapitated head in his hands. Yeah. So then it's on to Mount Olympus. I'm in the sky. Okay, here I use the shield to block the spears. The controls are stiff though. I press the button to have the shield come up, and it only works half the time. After you kill a guy, it lets you jump these gaps with the flying sandals. But you can only jump after you've killed an enemy. Why? Why can't Davey just jump over and run past all these guys? Why does the game force me to fight each individual enemy? Oh, guess I went the wrong way. Oh, and when you throw a spear, make sure the soldiers' full bodies are on the screen. If they're off screen, even partially, it won't hit them. Classic video game logic. If you didn't actually see the spear hit, then it didn't happen. So now we're in the Middle Ages for the 10th million time. You go pick up Elmo's inside-out asshole, and then go through Winterland and Dark Evil Land or whatever, and fight a giant skeleton knight. I'm guessing this is the end of the game, after all the crap I went through to get here. Yeah, he's dead. What? Now I need a key? Oh my god, find the key. I'll find the fucking key, you fucking piece of shit. Okay, got the key, went in the door, now I'm fighting a dragon. Nothing special, just hit it with the sword a bunch of times. Then you get the Holy Grail. I had to take a leap of faith earlier, and now the Holy Grail? If only there was a big fight on top of an army tank. So Davey wakes up and the principal's like, where'd you get that trophy? So now Davey's actually bringing back objects from his dreams? Does this make any sense? You know what would be cool? If Freddy Krueger came out and clawed his fucking face off. Then the teacher puts on a film of the Wild West. Davey falls asleep, and now we're on the last stage. Thank God. Why is the Wild West at the end? We just fought a big dragon. That should have been the last stage. Anyway, you find another object that looks like a piece of crap. It transports you to another piece of crap and eventually to hell. Then you're in a graveyard shooting at more robbers. Then you gotta shoot the gun out of the guy's hand again. This time, there's 3 of these guys in a row. After that, you've beaten the game. Couldn't they come up with something unique for a final boss rather than just rehashing something we've already done? Not to mention, I hate this part. I hate that you have to position a cursor over the gun. Bummer. Couldn't they have made this into a more action-oriented boss fight, like in Sunset Riders? There's nothing enjoyable about this.
Well, that's it. Basically, that's Dreamin Davey. That's the whole game. Mediocre. That's what it is. So, until next time, I'm gonna dream something better. I have a bad feeling about this. We're going to play a bunch of Star Wars games. The movies were a prime target for video game adaptations. They were full of all kinds of action set pieces, with battles taking place in space and on land, lightsaber duels, speeder bike chases. They had lovable characters, great storylines, and a classic mythology that was ripe for expanding upon in the world of gaming. So how could they fuck that up? Let's find out. Our journey begins, innocently enough, with the Atari 2600.
This is the first Star Wars game, or at least the first Atari version, based on the first movie. It follows the same format as the arcade version, which came out before. It focuses on only one scene from the movie, the climactic rebel attack on the Death Star. It's unimpressive, to say the least, but for the time, it was ambitious to try and create a 3D perspective. And besides, the Atari 2600 is well known for not being able to live up to the arcade standards of quality. The Empire Strikes Back, again, only borrowed from one scene, the fight against the Imperial Walkers on the planet Hoth. Unlike the other game, this follows the two-dimensional side-scrolling format, similar to games like Defender. All you do is shoot down an infinite army of walkers while avoiding their laser beams. Did that blast just come from its ass? Are these walkers, or are these dogs shitting out airborne turds? They take a lot of hits. You just keep shooting them till they change different colors and eventually explode. The control is fluent. The longer you drive the joystick, the more momentum your ship gains. Return of the Jedi focuses on the second Death Star battle. It figures out of all the scenes they could have chosen, they go with the space scene. You know why? Because Atari loves space. The best way to describe Atari in a nutshell is spaceship shoot laser, boom, that's it. Just the amount of games that begin with the word star is overwhelming. Or damn, space! What was this, the fucking space age of gaming? If this game wasn't called Star Wars, it would just seem like any other Atari game. The controls are similar to the classic Asteroids. Even though I said they picked the space scene, there actually was another Return of the Jedi game that focused on the Ewok stage. That's one way to make more money, split them up into two different games. However, the Ewok game was never released. The object is to get closer to the Death Star so you can destroy it. But unfortunately, there's a giant dance floor in space stretching out for infinite light years. You have to wait for a hole to appear, go in the hole, and now you've engaged the Death Star. Going with the dance theme, I think this would be a better game if you were trying to destroy a giant disco ball. Yeah, the storyline is that disco is coming back, and you gotta stop it. It would be called Disco Fuck Yourself, but now I'm just thinking out loud. So you keep shooting away at the Death Star, blasting away all the pieces, hoping that you can make all the pieces go away before all your brain cells do the same. Once you have a clear shot for the center, it's time to go boom. It's gonna go boom. This is Atari, I know it. It's gonna go boom. Boom! There is another game called Jedi Arena. It's supposed to be based on the scene in Star Wars A New Hope where Luke is training with that flying metal orb thingy. So you're waving your lightsaber back and forth, deflecting electric charges. I guess the idea is to deflect them to the other player or the computer. The best way I can describe this, it feels sort of like playing pinball when the ball is stuck somewhere and you just keep jamming the flippers back and forth in vain. There you have the Atari Star Wars games. Not so good, but it's Atari, so it's excusable. But now we're moving on to the Famicom. This game was only released in Japan. It never came out on the NES. You know that could mean one of two things. Either it was the only good one, or the worst of all. Let's see. The cutscenes are promising enough, until you get to the gameplay. Luke has black hair, even though it's blonde in the cutscenes. Oh, never mind. Let's get on with it. I'm dead. Already? All it takes is one hit? Couldn't there be a life bar? Oh, this lightsaber sucks. It goes right through the enemies. You can only hit them when they're really close. Oh, come on, I jumped over that. You're telling me if I'm anywhere near a projectile, I get hit, but when I'm trying to hit an enemy, I have to be precise. That's real fair. So now I'm inside the Jawa sandcrawler, murdering some stormtroopers and birds? Now I'm fighting Darth Vader? Already? He's inside the sandcrawler because why? Oh well, who cares?
Did that happen in the movie? Did that happen in any of the movies? Did Darth Vader say to Luke, I am your father, and I am also a fucking scorpion. No, it's not true. That's impossible! Why does Darth Vader turn into a fucking scorpion? That doesn't even happen in the special editions. There is no version of Star Wars in this universe or timeline or any other, I'm sure of it, where Darth Vader turns into a fucking scorpion. I need a beer. Hey, where's my beer droid? Hey! Come on, bring me a beer. Yeah, that's my beer droid. Hey. Alright. Okay. Yeah. Alright, come on.
The next stage, you're in the land speeder mowing down stormtroopers. Well, this is easy. The stormtroopers can't even harm you with their laser blasts. If you hit a wall, you lose the land speeder. But other than that, you're invincible. Okay, so I guess he's going into the Mos Eisley bar. That's the famous scene in the movie where Luke meets Han Solo. But one thing I didn't know was that they allow land speeders in the bar. What, does Luke just crash his way in?
It's quite interesting, actually. In this version, Luke gets to the bar so fast, I bet Han and Greedo were still talking at the table. You know, who shot first, Han or Greedo, whatever. But actually, neither one of them did. Luke kills Greedo with his land speeder right after Han says, "Over my dead body." Boom! All of a sudden, Luke comes through, crashing with the fucking land speeder. I want to see that in the next special edition.
Now we're already flying away in the Millennium Falcon? You don't even get to see the inside of the bar. We've already established that this game has nothing to do with the movie, so at this point, I'd just like to see what kind of ridiculous shit could go on in there. But no, we don't even get a cutscene. Nothing. After a pitifully standard space shooter stage, we're back to side-scrolling again. Game over. Is that Darth Vader breathing? Or is that the sounds of the ocean? Now I start from the beginning? Yep, it's one of those games. No continues, 3 lives, 1-hit deaths. Simple as that. You make 3 mistakes, you go all the way back to the beginning. There's little in the way of 1-ups, no password system, and no stage select code. Doesn't matter how far you get, if you die, you're doing it all over. Even on the novice setting, it's still hard. The odds of successfully navigating through this miserable fuck heap is 3,720 to 1. There's certain Jedi powers you can use to help yourself through, but you only get these for a limited time. The only way to progress is through trial and error. You need to familiarize yourself with the layout. Like here, I thought I could jump down that waterfall, but nope, that's the wrong way. Each time I play this, I progress a little farther than the last. But if only I didn't have to keep playing the earlier stages over and over again. After the 20th fucking time, I'm burned out. This is worse than a piece of shit. It's a whole shit. The NES got a different Star Wars game. Hold on, no LJN? It's a movie-based game, it's on Nintendo, and it wasn't made by LJN? Then it might have a chance. It starts out with a shitty driving stage. It would be nice if you could just point the speeder in the direction you want to go, but it has to have that backwards ass control, like Roger Rabbit and Dick Tracy. I hate that shit. It also happens to be one of those where the fuck do I go kind of games. If you haven't played the game before, you can spend hours searching for the right place. The first time, I had no clue I'm supposed to go straight to the sandcrawler to find R2-D2. Once inside, it turns into a side-scroller. Luckily, it's a huge improvement over the Japanese version. The controls are more fluent, and you actually have a life bar. Thank God. It still manages to be a very difficult game. One thing that's kind of annoying, if you fall from too great a height, you take damage. Does that happen in Super Mario Bros? No, it doesn't. You find these elevator shaft things that make Luke shoot up into the air, but they land you on a conveyor belt, then you get hit by these metal garbage can lids. Those conveyor belts can go fuck a dick. There's R2. Oh shit, the conveyor. Fuck! Then you drive out to Mos Eisley to find Han and get the Millennium Falcon. Here, there's actually a stage inside the bar, unlike the other game. It's unfeasible to beat this stage with the blaster. You have to get the lightsaber before coming here. So fuck the bar, first go to the cave. Yeah, it's some cave where Obi-Wan gives Luke the lightsaber. It's not clear at all where you're supposed to go first. And besides, why would Obi-Wan give Luke the lightsaber in a cave? Now that I have the lightsaber, the bar stage is much easier. But the next stage starts kicking my ass again. All these bounty hunters are flying around blowing me to smithereens. Jump! Jump! I made it through the hangar. I'm at the Millennium Falcon, flying in space, getting annihilated by asteroids that kill in one hit. You gotta collect shields for the ship, which can only be found back at the hangar. Of course. Too bad I didn't know that, because now I gotta do the whole game over. Okay, so I went through the whole game again, and now I'm back at the hangar. This time making sure to collect the shields. Now the flying stage is much easier, and after that, it's time for the Death Star. Unfortunately, the Death Star is a confusing maze of elevators. Where do I go? Wouldn't it be nice to have a map or a compass? Anything to help me navigate my way. Instead, it's a guessing game. Man, I don't know how the stormtroopers deal with this shit. Even worse, one of the elevators can only be found by taking a dive. Try that anywhere else and it would drop you to your death. Once you get Leia, she becomes a playable character. Fortunately, she can jump way better than Luke. But it's not going to help too much because this whole stage is full of spikes. If you touch them, you die. That's it. Even if you touch the side of a spike, you die. This is a cruel joke. Think about every game that has spikes or any sort of prickly hazards that cover the walls. Imagine all that combined and multiplied 1,000,000 times. Even worse, you go into this anti-gravity room where you get sucked up to the ceiling against your own will.
Man, the only way to beat an outrageously difficult game like this is to cheat. Like I hear a lot of people use emulators with save states. You know, that would be pretty handy, I guess, but you know what would be better? How about just a button you press that makes the game beat? And that's why I invented the Beat a Game button. Yeah, all you do, if you're playing a really hard game, you just push the button and the game's beat. Let's try it out. Ninja Gaiden 2. Ooh, that's a hard game. Oh, man. Oh, shit. I'm getting my ass kicked. Legend of Zelda. Beat it. Mega Man. Beat it. You never thought you'd beat a hard game like that, not without the Beat a Game button. Alright, all you games, consider your ass beat. Alright, back to Star Wars. Rusty hunk of junk. Ow!
Empire Strikes Back is our next game. It starts out in Hoth, like the movie. Luke, what's this? The lightsaber is the weapon of a Jedi? Yeah, thanks. Thanks for interrupting the game to tell me that. Might as well tell me cows go moo. For the most part, this game sticks to the same format as the first Star Wars on NES, but the controls still take some time to get used to. It doesn't help that you start out riding on a tauntaun. You can get on and off, and if you get off at the wrong time, you can get stuck. Until I found out you can jump higher by first holding down. It's like Super Mario Bros. 2. You duck down and it charges your jump. That would have been much more useful information to tell me instead of the lightsaber is the weapon of a Jedi. And what's this? The program engineer shows his face? I wish it was Fred Fox. You can collect different force powers.
Luke, choose the Force.
Instead of use the Force, it's choose the Force. That's clever. Though I gotta give him credit for the digitized speech. Sounds better than Ghostbusters. Even Darth Vader's breathing sounds accurate. For some reason, the tauntaun eats this nasty fungus on the ground. Yeah, yummy. Eat that shit. Whatever it is. The part where I get really fucked is when I'm trying to jump on these glaciers and these droids keep shooting from all over the place. Aiming the blaster is not as self-explanatory as it looks. You think you just point with the D-pad, but no, it just shoots wherever the fuck it wants. Now I'm fighting the Wampa. It takes like 9 million hits to kill, and look how easy this is. I could just stand here and he'll never get me. Next is a flying stage where you shoot down the Imperial walkers. You even tie them up with the cable, like in the movie. Then you're inside the Rebel base where you can hijack a walker. The strange thing is that Luke actually destroys it before hopping in. I saw it explode and collapse, but now it's perfectly operational? Then you're in the Dagobah swamp. Enemies pop out of nowhere, and the vines must have been greased with oil because I keep slipping off. And of course there's that classic bullshit where you have to leap off a ledge in good faith. This swamp stage is from hell. Oh my god, damn, fuck!
And that's where I reached my limit, because the game's too hard. There was no Return of the Jedi game, not on NES. I guess they knew when to stop. Hey, Beard Droid. You know what? Just never mind.
To be fair, the NES games aren't that bad. They have decent graphics, music, and are somewhat faithful to the movies. If it hadn't been for insane difficulty, I wouldn't shake two shits at it. The difficult nature of the Star Wars games was like a tradition that carried into the 16-bit era. On the SNES, there was the whole trilogy, and the force is strong with these ones. These were called the Super Star Wars games, rightfully so. From the beginning, they look and sound just like the movies, although on the main menu screen of the first game, Mark Hamill's face is a little messed up. They follow the movies well and take liberties only when necessary. You'll recognize all the famous scenes from the Hoth battle to the duel with Vader. You even get to play as the appropriate character for each stage. Luke, Han Solo, Leia, Chewie, even Wicket the Ewok. There's a nice variety of side-scrolling stages, 3D flying stages, 2D flying stages, and POV flying stages. The voices are great too.
You order not. There is no try.
The bosses are huge and always keep you wondering what's going to happen next. It also has one of the most awesome attacks in any side-scroller. You can perform a double jump and spin the lightsaber around. I find myself using this move all the time. Interesting to note that in the newer Star Wars movies, you see the Jedi doing this kind of thing more often. Sometimes the action is so intense, it's like blast processing. Oh no, Chewie's going nuts! Chewie's going nuts! The only downside is that it is extremely difficult. Even on the easy setting, these games are relentless. In the first game, there's this land speeder stage where you're going around crashing into piles of shit. A series of tricky platforms that require some lucky jumps, false jumps that lead to nowhere, enemies that take way more hits than necessary. Come on, fucking die. Power-ups that come way later than needed. Descending platforms that make you think you're going somewhere, but take you into lava with no warning. Enemies that freeze you over and over. And boss battles that go on for an eternity. Why do all these bosses have such long life bars? There is a frustration factor, but there's a balance between frustration and fun. These games are mostly fun. They can be annoying, but they're annoying enough that you still want to keep playing. Shadows of the Empire on Nintendo 64 was when Star Wars games started getting really good and showed that there was a bright future for more games in the franchise and that they didn't always have to follow the movies exactly. They could invent their own side stories and expand on the Star Wars universe. This game, for example, takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, though it begins with Empire. The battle on Hoth was amazing. For the first time, we really felt like we were playing the movie. We've come a long way since this. Things have changed. We have taken a step into a much larger world.
Of course, we had to stop somewhere because there's a whole galaxy of Star Wars related games. So this could have gone on and on. There's Star Wars Rebel Assault, Dark Forces, Jedi Academy, Rogue Squadron, Battlefront, Star Wars Chess, Lego Star Wars Puzzle Blaster, Star Wars Pod Racer, Jar Jar Binks Bingo, Death Star Builder 3.0, Chewie Wookie Cookie Cookin', Stormtrooper Tennis, Jabba's Farts Unleashed, that was a good one, Wedge's Wedgie Attack, Fishing for Akbars, Super Sith Shit Toss Tournament Edition, Boba Fett's Name Game, find his name in the fucking movies, Governor Tarkin versus Count Dookie. Oh my god! Oh my god! What the fucking buffalo just took a fucking shit through my fucking window! Oh my fucking god, there's shit and fucking glass all over the place! Where the fuck did that come from? Oh my god, I gotta clean all this shit up! What the fuck, man? What's the difference? All these games suck. All these games suck too. I'm surrounded by filth. Might as well just cover my walls in shit. I'm living in shit. Fucking video games. We wasted so many hours of human life with this vile crap. We failed in our existence when we were cursed with the technology to invent such horrible mind-rotting catastrophes. We were better in the fucking medieval times. I wish we were just sitting on a riverbank playing with fucking rocks. This game sucks, and this game sucks, and this game sucks, and this game sucks. This fucking thing barely even works. And this fucking thing, 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 and this fucking thing. I don't like them. Well, what are we gonna play this time? Gyromite? That was one of the original NES launch titles. Yeah, like Duck Hunt, Excite Bike, and Super Mario Brothers. All the initial classics. Let's try it out. Robot Gyro? Well, that's a good sign when the title of the game isn't the same as on the fucking cover. Oh, okay, I get it. This is like some kind of two-player co-op mode. Okay, well, I was pretty sure I picked one player. I did. The one-player mode is a two-player game. The first player controls the professor, and the second player controls the gates. You both gotta work together. In the two-player mode, the only difference is that the two players alternate back and forth. So, either way, it's a co-op game. Okay, so I need a second player? Who the hell am I gonna get to play this shit with me?
I will play. I am R.O.B, Robotic Operating Buddy.
Okay, cool. A robot. Here you go.
Error does not compute. Requires adaptive device.
It's a controller. You play it.
I do not have thumbs. You moron. Requires adaptive device. Location, bottom drawer. 3.6 centimeters depth, front right corner, 9.1 centimeters.
Alright. This thing?
Correct. Place controller into tray. Align actuators with buttons.
Okay, I get it. You push these little things and they activate the buttons. That's a little excessive, but whatever. Alright, Rob, you got all your stuff. You're all set. Let's play.
Insufficient. Must have gyros.
You want a fucking gyro now? Alright, here's your damn gyro.
You idiot. That is not a gyro.
I know, I tried. What do you want me to go to fucking Greece?
Bottom drawer.
Okay, so these are the gyros. In other words, spinning tops. They come with a spinner, which takes a D battery. On top of the 4 AA's you'll need for R.O.B. When you place a gyro on the spinner, it does just that. It spins. Man, does this thing spin. You could probably sharpen a pencil on it. Now this whole setup is like something Doc Brown or Pee Wee Herman would use. You ready now, R.O.B? You happy? You got enough shit to work with?
Affirmative.
Affirmative your ass! Let's play! So this is how it works. When you want to control R.O.B, you press start. Now the screen flashes different colors, which somehow communicates with R.O.B through the sensors in his eyes. Creepy. And now we're finally ready to move that gate. Ah, finally! Oh! Oh, no, 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 no! The object of the game is simple. Professor Hector somehow got himself trapped in a room full of dynamite and dinosaurs. Man, he really fucked up. Supposedly, these dinosaurs or whatever are called SMICs. If you touch them, you die. Unfortunately, Hector cannot jump. He can't even reach out to grab dynamite that's right above his face. This means having to climb up to a higher height and drop down on the dynamite. He can also pick up radishes. The SMICs happen to love radishes and will stop at anything to eat them. If your timing is right, you can use the gates to squish the SMICs. Yeah! But watch out, the same thing can happen to the professor. The goal is to collect all the dynamite. After that, you advance to the next stage. It's like a classic arcade platformer like Donkey Kong or the original Mario Brothers. It could be a fun game, except for having to use a damn robot. Alright, R.O.B, you want to play something else? How about Life Force?
Negative.
Well then what do you want to play?
Stack up.
Stack up. Sure about this, R.O.B?
Yes, trust me. It's good.
Robot block? What's with the alternate titles? The idea is to set up the blocks in a prearranged pattern. And yes, that's what they call them, blocks. They're a little bit, rounded, I'd say, for blocks. The goal is to move the blocks from one pattern to the next with as few moves and in as little time as possible. So R.O.B is a little more functional here than in Gyromite, meaning that this is a physical game where the outcome is determined by how soon you get the blocks to their final destination. When you're done, you press start. Because there's no way the game actually knows when you win, you can just lie and keep pressing start all you want. It almost doesn't even need to be a video game. The video part is just to control the robot. By hopping around on different command keys, or programming a preset combination of movements, or by playing bingo. Each row corresponds with a R.O.B movement. When the row is completed, he does that movement. Why do I have to control a professor in a game to control a robot? Why can't I just control the robot myself? That'd be a lot easier, right? Yeah, a remote control robot. Kids would like that. You'd see them sitting on the sidewalks playing with their remote control ROBs. You just need to bring a TV set outside just to use them, that's all. Alright, Rob, let's play something different. Oh, how about Contra?
Negative.
No? How about Bubble Bobble? That's a great two-player game.
Negative.
Well, then what do you want to play?
Gyromite.
Gyromite? Well, we already played that. Let's pick something different.
Stack Up.
Those can't be the only two games you play. How about Double Dragon 2 or Dr. Mario? Family Feud?
Does not compute. Must be Gyromite or Stack Up.
Oh, come on, Rob. You come over and all you want to play are the same two games. Look, I got this whole shelf, both sides, nearly 800 NES games.
Gyromite or Stack Up.
Right. Oh, no! Fuck! Oh, here comes the Smick. Oh, fucking Smick's a dick. Oh, fuck. Knock it the fuck off. No, don't knock it off. Oh, no. What the fuck? You know what? You be the first player. Yeah, let's see how you like it. Yeah, ain't that fun? How you like that, Robo-fuckazoid piece of shit? The hell with Rob. I'm playing by myself. Man, all because you need two controllers. You know what? I'll just play with my feet. Yeah, that works pretty good. Or wait, better yet. Yeah, you like my new invention? I call it the Gyromite controller. It plays Gyromite. Wait a minute, I got a better idea. How about play a different fucking game? You're doing this, you cybernetic shit sucker!
What have you done?
Prime objective, eliminate all games that don't meet criteria. Criteria equals gyromite and stack up. Prime objective complete. No more inferior games. No more long passwords. No more annoying music. No more despicable controls. No more barf-inducing graphics. No more useless weapons like before. In 1983, the video game market was oversaturated with inferior games, all a product of human imperfection. The video game crash left many game companies bankrupt. A prophecy was told that a hero would rise from the ashes, a robot warrior, that is I.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Nintendo made video games awesome again, for the most part. But I don't think Nintendo's success had anything to do with you!
Be quiet. You are a biological unit with insufficient intellect to make that determination.
You're no hero! This is my hero! Batteries.
Will be terminated.
No more shitty games. No more Karate Kid. No more Top Gun. No more Ghostbusters. No more Fester's Quest. No more Virtual Boy. No more Dick Tracy. No more Little Red Hood. No more Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I won't fucking have it! That's the way you're gonna get it.